Hello, everybody! How are you all doing today? Sorry about the late start. I had a bit of a curveball thrown at us before we're coming on the session here with D&D Beyond, but we got it figured out. Everything's okay. How you all doing? Welcome to the Chromatic Dragon Saga, Session 5. I can't believe you made it 5 sessions so far and haven't died. Congratulations.
Got close.
Well, actually, that's true. But super stoked to get started on today. We are down a web-headed hero. Andrew was doing his lovely civic duty today and getting the vaccination for COVID. But those vaccinations can take a little bit out of you. So he's feeling a little tired, so wasn't able to make the session this week. But we have back our lovely druid, BB Merrill. So good to see you again. So yes, we are down a fighter this session, but we're going to have a good time nonetheless. So don't have much to say off the top here today, other than for those of you who don't know, my name is Dicecream Sandwich. I'm the DM of this campaign. We're also streaming this on a couple different channels: Jessica Wings, BB Merrill, myself. So if you want to take a look at all those different layouts, go right ahead. And this coming Monday on the Dicecream Twitch channel, we are beginning Arc 3 of my homebrewed original campaign, Beyond the Realms, which has been super exciting. The players just ended their Arc 2 BBEG, Are the Frost Maiden. It was an epic 2-part battle, and we're starting a whole new storyline this Monday, so super stoked with that. Around 5 p.m. PST, so come on down if you like more D&D. You might dig it. But with all that out of the way, I know these players are raring to go after all that reorganizing. So nothing else left to do, guys, but take a deep breath, put your feet together, put the arms out, and just not dive, but just fall ever so slightly over into our next edition of the Chromatic Dragon Saga.
Synchronized dive.
Whee!
Okay.
Ooh.
Last we left off, the party having successfully rescued a large group of villagers from the church of Chaltea, from the vicious dragon cultists, were rushily heading back towards the keep after a very vicious raiding party came swarming through the little town of Green Nest. There were just a manner of different villainous people in this raiding party: cultists, kobolds, drakes, various humans, and different all manners of creatures were just going through this town that you happen to be in. You've been doing your best to try to keep people alive, essentially. There are houses on fire. There's an adult blue dragon. This attack is vicious. You had no clue as to why this was happening. But during this raid, you were able to defend a few villagers, rescue as many as you can, and you got a certain bits of information from some of the remaining cultists and kobolds, and you know that this is the cult of the dragon that's been roaming through towns, looting them. For what purpose, you weren't too sure until one name was told to you, that of Tiamat, the Dragon Queen herself. Through rescuing these people in this church, you made your way back to the keep as it was the dead of night, as you were told just to rescue whoever you can. You found out that the priest of this church was also the town's potion maker, making healing potions, so very vital person to have in this onslaught of attacks. As you made your way back to the keep, you recognized that the keep now had so many people inside of it, shoulder to shoulder. They tried to rescue as many villagers as they could from this onslaught and just decided to try to wait it out until the following morning. You yourselves decided to try to take a short rest, regain your stamina to see what you would do the following day, but you got maybe 2 hours rest until Arlie, in your dream, your new dragon, or was it, what do we call it? I'm having trouble remembering.
Martin.
Pardon me?
Pseudo-dragon.
The pseudo-dragon, that's it. I was like, wormling, that's not it. Your new pseudo-dragon pet that you got from the priest of the church warned you in your dreams that danger was approaching, and then out of the sky, that adult blue dragon that started this whole onslaught suddenly appeared, rained fire on the keep, blowing a huge part of the top tower onto the front courtyard, obliterating the noble that brought you to Green Nest in the first place, Celadon de Grey. And as that attack came about, everyone took to arms, guards took to the walls, the rest of the villagers all packed inside the keep, and a deep booming voice called out to you, that of Langdorosa Cyanrath, this very imposing, large, humanoid blue dragon wearing this adornment of purple and gold armor, called you out, essentially, after your first mission, having taken out some of the cultists to save the people of this church. One got away, and the secret is out that there was a group of adventurers helping the town of Green Nest fight against this raiding party, and he wanted to fight the strongest warrior as their time here in Green Nest was about to come to an end. But before he left, he wanted to fight one of these strong adventurers, and all of you were deciding amongst yourselves who would go out and challenge him, as he had some villagers captive, a mother and some children, saying, I will release the kids if you send out your strongest warrior, and if you beat me, I will release the mother as well. And as you were all deciding amongst yourselves who would go out and fight Cyanrath, it came down to Arctreon, our Leonin barbarian, who took on the mantle, striding out there with his big great axe, plummeting into the ground, letting out a giant roar. The two of you had a one-on-one contest, and it was a battle. Roles were being just contested, strike for strike, blow for blow, blocking and parrying and slashing. You managed to knock down Cyanrath a few times in your fight, but the one thing you didn't expect was this humanoid dragonborn to suddenly let loose a huge eruption of lightning from his mouth, from the lightning breath attack that took you off guard, and just you blocked as much as you could with your great axe, but he enlisted Axe Surge, giving him an extra turn, and came down on you with a flurry of blows that took out Arctreon, but you took him to the limit. And as that was an impressive display of combat prowess, he decided to let you go and basically said to you all, like, don't follow the cultists, leave us alone, let this be a warning, or we will lay waste to everything you hold dear. Took the rest of the cultists out of the front courtyard and went back into the night as you saw plumes of smoke and hearing signs of looting and chaos still erupting all around you as the big leathery wings of an adult blue dragon rode off into the night. As that happened, Apollo, you ran out to your friend Arctreon, healed him back up, lifted him up, took him back inside the keep to recoup. And as at this time that you met up with Governor Nighthill inside the keep, who was just enraged that his town had been sacked, enraged by the loss of life that had been taken this night, and was done. He was done being a victim. He threw his glass on the ground, said, this is it. We need to find out who these people are. We need to figure out what they're up to, and we need to end this once and for all, and look towards all of you. And that was when we end the session. So today's session is going to pick up the following morning. You have all taken a very much needed long rest, as these last 4 sessions have literally been happening over a day. And that day is finally, thank God, ended. So as you all kind of try to find certain places to lay to rest for the night in a very crowded keep, you took your bedrolls out, find whatever space you could muster, and finally got some rest. So you were all healed up. Any spell slots, any features, any abilities you had used should all be back up to full. You've got access to all your things. And as the sun starts to rise, bits of sunlight start peering in through the various windows in the keep. And Apollo, as you're going to sleep, one of those rays just kind of moves across the floor, the stone floor, comes across your cheekbone and right into your eyes. as this warm light is starting to hit your face. Kind of wakes you up, and as your eyes kind of had that blurry vision at first, your eyelids start to open, and you look around you as you see a few bevy of people all still wrapped up in various sheets and linens, still very much asleep, but you see your party kind of laying down next to you in various positions. Amara is kind of sleeping in a very weird position with like face down and like one leg up, and it's just everyone else is kind of like sleeping soundly. But you are the first person to wake, and you notice kind of out in the courtyard, you notice Governor Nighthill making his way through the front doors as he kind of just opens it and closes as he goes to the front courtyard. But you are the first one up. What would you like to do?
All right. Everyone's still sleeping. It's quiet in here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to follow Nighthill.
Okay. So you go outside. Make a stealth check really quick.
19.
So as you awake, your party's still sound asleep, not hearing you kind of get up and make your way out to the front steps.
Wait, technically Amara doesn't sleep.
Oh, no?
No, she doesn't sleep. She just, like, meditates, kind of.
Face down.
Yeah.
I'm meditating. Hang on.
Yeah, her character doesn't sleep.
So would you roll perception really quick? Let's see if in your meditative state, if you're focusing on meditating or be able to hear him kind of tiptoe out.
Darn it, I got a 10.
10, yeah. So unfortunately, your meditative state, you're just too focused on the current task as Apollo kind of gets woken up by that sunlight and sees Greenhill kind of walking into the front courtyard very early. This is like 6 a.m, kind of, around that time. So Apollo, you see Nighthill kind of make his way out front, and you follow.
What does it look like out there? Are there guards awake and like aware? Like is it just us out there?
So right now you're inside the keep. You just see a sea of various people all still very much fast asleep. As you kind of make your way down those front steps, you kind of open the door slightly. You look outside, the sun is just kind of coming out. There's this very beautiful but kind of haunting deep orange glow in the sky as you can still kind of see and smell the smoke plumes from the fire that the raiders had left behind. But this morning is a bit different than the day previous. As you come outside, you don't hear any screaming, faint screams at the distance. You don't hear any smashing or the sounding of like swords being plunged into people or anything. It's eerily quiet. And as you go into the front courtyard with those massive keep walls still standing tall, except for the smashed top of the tower in that corner, you look up and you see some guards still on the walls, sort of guards by the front door keeping watch. And Nighthill's just kind of in the middle of it, just smoking this big pipe. And you see the smoke kind of bellow out into the air as he's just standing there looking up.
I'm going to walk up to him, behind him, just hand on the shoulder. Silence is oddly comforting after that.
This is the first time I've heard silence in quite some time, and thought I'd come out here to try to enjoy it a bit before the next day starts.
I don't blame you, my friend. And as I look across the courtyard and eyes resting on the pile of rubble in the corner, I'm going to, oh shit, sit on! And I'm going to go try and check.
You're gonna try to move those giant chunks of stone?
Yeah.
Okay. You start over to the stone pile. Make a strength check.
We all just went to bed.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, it was really close to a natural 20, but it was an 8.
At 8.
It was an 8.
An 8. So there's these giant chunks of stone that are just piled up on the corner that have kind of piled up to the wall that go up about like 10 or 15 feet. You go over, Sidon, oh God, you rush over and you're like, you're trying to move this giant pile of stone that are just all onto each other, this rubble. And Nighthill hasn't moved. He's just standing there like, it's hopeless, friend. He's gone.
He's my paycheck.
As you look down and just see his boot and his leg just like sort of jettisoned out to the side. But it's like if a concrete block was on a pillow. Like you see his front shin and his boot, but then like the shin goes halfway and you just see this concaved piece of stone just squished onto it.
Ooh. Are the boots nice?
It's one boot, and they are really nice.
I'm gonna take the boot.
I'll get the boot for 500, please.
All right. 6, you don't need to make a check for this. You just kind of go down there and pull off the boot, and it's nice. It's nice, genuine black leather, really slick, obviously scuffed up from the rubble. But it kind of like knee-high boot that kind of cuffs off at the bottom or at the top. But they're nice.
I can't wait for you to throw that at somebody.
I mean, if we're gonna return, we might as well return the boot at some point to continue the mission. Anyway.
As Nighthill smoking his pipe kind of looks over, is like, I mean, I'm not one to tell a person what to do, but I think it's bad luck to grave rob the dead.
It's not a grave, and he was an asshole. I'm gonna walk back up to Nighthill.
I won't argue with that.
What are your next plans? You can't go after them. There were too many. You saw. Our best fighter was, and we'll look around, just checking Ark's not there. Absolutely annihilated.
I want to. Can I roll for perception to see if I heard that?
Sure.
Like heard it to wake up from your sleep.
Yes.
He's talking shit again. Ooh.
Oh, I heard it all right. 20.
20.
Natty 20.
As the rest of you are still pretty sound asleep, Apollo and Nighthair are kind of talking outside. They're obviously speaking in a bit of hushed voice, but as this is just like dead silence, any voice you could probably hear if you were awake. But as that happens, you kind of just, some of you start to hear just the muffled voices outside. But Arctreon, you kind of hear a muffled voice outside and your eyes start to kind of like that place of like still asleep, but almost awake. You just hear a, well, you know, one of the best fighters in Arctreon. Like, heard it. You do hear the voice. It's up to you if you wanted to get up and join him, or if you just wanted to kind of know that you heard that and just keep sleeping.
No, I'm gonna get up, but I'm definitely gonna throw a small rock at Apollo.
You just throw a rock at Apollo?
Yeah, small rock. Nothing crazy, but definitely enough to like, I heard that.
Roll. Do you want to not wake up your party as you get up, or do you want to try to sneak out undetected as well?
I'll do what I'll do.
Well, it's up to you. If you want to be sneaky, we can roll for it. But if you want to kind of get up and wake up your party, you can do that too.
I'm gonna get up and wake the party.
Okay. So as you kind of just overhear Apollo having this conversation, you hear that phrase with the best fighter. You're like, huh? You just look up and you see everyone's just dead, asleep. That dull orange glow is coming through the windows, signaling to you that it's very early in the morning. And you just kind of like, hey, wake up, guys. Wake up. You just kind of shake Amara and Arlie.
Sleep is for the weak. Get up.
I was having the most strange adventure in the plains. You know, the spirits, the memories, they were coming to me.
Paul, was that you said?
Yes.
Do I see them all coming out?
Yes, and Avery, who's just so dead tired from all the work he's been doing over this past day, is just he's just sort of next to a wall, just head kind of next to it. He's got his blanket on top, his bedroll underneath, and he's just got like a rag over his face. He's just like done. So he's just like fast asleep as you all kind of wake up and start to make your way to the front, where you hear Apollo's voice. chatting with Nighthill. As the three of you kind of make your way out, Apollo, after you say that word or that phrase about Arctreon, you just feel a small pebble go, just gonna hit the back of your head. Like, hey!
I heard.
How'd you do that? What? That's like a wall, and there's a door. How are you?
I'm not deaf, but you're incredibly loud.
I'm gonna look at Nighthill and like, am I?
I mean, just a little bit. I guess, yeah.
Small nod, yeah, just like.
Well, okay, that's offensive.
But as your friends kind of join out the front courtyard, finishing the conversation you had, as you spoke to Nighthill and said, "How do you plan to retaliate? These people were so strong. Our best warrior kind of got bit the dust." It looks to you, says, "I cannot let this attack just go. We have to do something. I know it."
The answer is not immediate violence with no plan aside from attack. You're Lord, aren't you? Meet up with the others. Explain what happened. They don't want this to happen to their territory either. I doubt it.
No,
And if we can... Those lives are lost. I'm sorry to say, but it's done. What we can do is save other lives. We can warn people and make sure something like this is stopped in the future, or at least halted.
They took prisoners with them, okay?
How many?
We did it. We did a count, and we weren't able to get all the people back, and we saw... Some guards saw them leave with some of our villages.
I'm ready for round 2.
Yeah, Amara's gonna like giddy, like just like hee hee.
I don't want to include the Lord's Alliance just yet, not until we know what it is we're dealing with, the magnitude of the situation, so we can better prepare ourselves for the long haul. I spoke with some of the other leaders of Green Nest, and we need to know who's behind this attack. We need to know why the town was a target. We know that the raiders, they retreated towards the southeast. The trail's easy enough to spot. But we are going to be busy here recouping from what we lost and rebuilding what was taken from us. But you and your friends are incredibly capable. We would not be here today without you. And I want to come at you with a proposal. If you and your friends are able to locate the raiders' camp, find out any information you can, I'm willing to pay you 250 gold pieces apiece. We need to know where the camp is sited, how many raiders there are, who their leaders are, what's motivating these attacks, and where they plan to strike next. If you're able to recover any valuables that were stolen from the town, we would appreciate it if you could return those as well. We can do our best to arrange maybe a reward for you from what's left of the town treasury if they didn't take everything.
Makes sense.
During this conversation, Amara's not gonna listen, and she's just gonna like, you know, the ability where she does the thing with her fingernails. She's just gonna like run around going.
Sits in front like a child, just
Practice karate. Practice karate. Practice karate. And as Nighthill says this, he kind of just looks over to the rubble. It's like, seems like you might be in need of some new direction.
Well, okay, you're right, but forgive me for not exactly... You've seen, and I just turn around and look at Ark, we're not exactly, aside from myself, the stealthiest group. Or most convincing, you know.
I'm convincing!
We can attempt. I'm kind of like looking to Arlie as like the only relatively sane one, is like we can attempt
Recon.
Something like this. I don't know how much we can get from it, but we can attempt to get as much information as possible. But if it comes down to us or them, you saw that force. We can't handle them right now, not with just us. There's 4 of us here, and I am the only one who knows how to talk. So
I wouldn't expect you all to take this burden dangerously. I'm not expecting you to take out the entire dragon cult on your own. It's anything that can help us figure out what is going on here today. It'll allow us to make better moves in the future and know what we're dealing with. Maybe gain more support from across Faerun and other places, but until we know more, there's not much we can do. We owe it to the dead.
I'm in if they are.
I'm in for some recon.
I'm in. Let's do it. I think that means she's in too.
Amara. Throw another stone. Amara.
I'm having a great time, and I'm just gonna try to swat the stone with my hand.
Oh, Ark.
Alright.
I'm gonna point at the rubble. Can you just lift it off of I need his other boot. Can you help with this?
Oh my gosh.
He's not gonna use it. Don't look at me like that.
Can I help?
I will go over it.
Yeah, can I give him like a little...
If you want to help, yeah, you can give
Yes.
him advantage if you want. As Amara and Arctreon walk over to the pile of rubble and try to lift up these heavy stone blocks. 19, yeah. So you go up where Apollo was having so much trouble moving this thing, is you just kind of go over and just push it over to the side, and you see a very crushed boot and a leg that's just flattened underneath. But the boot is like heavily scarred and scuffed up. It doesn't look anything like the second. It's got rips in it. It's got tears in it.
Is this what you wanted? Is this what you want from me? As I throw it over my shoulder. And I look to Night Hill, and I'm like, bury this man. As I'm assuming most of his body is protruding already.
You lift up that boot and you're just kind of holding it, and you realize it's a bit heavier than a boot should be, and you kind of look into it and you realize that a piece of his leg is still in the boot.
Yes. You still want this boot?
You can leave it.
Throw it back. Well,
Piece of calf just goes.
Oh,
Yes, we'll make sure he gets a proper burial and notify his family and next of kin. They'll be in the efforts to clean up this town. We will make sure that he is looked after.
Okay. Not too well, though. He didn't deserve it. But, yeah, you get the point.
what
All right.
supplies can you give us if we're going to be doing this reconnaissance mission? Is there anything you might find us having useful or of use?
Again, I'd have to recount what supplies we have left, but whatever we can give you to make this easier for you, we will try our best. So anything in particular that you would all require? Sword, shields?
Maybe like a wagon so we can put them, like people, if we find people, just put them on the wagon and take them back home.
A wagon. Okay, I can look into that.
Also, if I could get 100 gold of my payment ahead of time. I know it's not... I'm thinking ahead, and I'm thinking if we are going to try and pretend to... If we get caught and I don't have anything of value on me, I can at least say, look at what I looted from the village, and then maybe they'll believe me. So if I can get a little something of value, I can use that as well.
Yes, of course. You're risking your lives, it's the least we can do.
And yes, a wagon. How many, a list of who's missing would be useful as well.
I think we believe that there were 8 that were taken. I have to look into seeing what their names are and all that, but that's what one of the guards spotted. 8 of our own being taken away when they left late last night.
Okay.
Do you have
It's a wagon with horses, please.
With horses, okay.
Yes, maybe like one horse because Arlie can do a lot.
Okay, you don't mind pulling the wagon with your friends inside.
Do you
Oh,
have-
we'll be walking. It's just for the people. Don't worry.
People, yes, of course. Okay.
We're
Can I
walking
let-
the whole way.
Does
You
it
gonna-
look like we have horses to ride? And Arlie is
I'm gonna look at Arlie.
her own horse.
Do you
No.
have a telescope? Something for long distance view?
A telescope. Yes, I can acquire so, yes.
Okay.
I think
A form of flammable liquid. I have a water skin. I want to fill with some sort of lamp oil, something that burns.
I have a flask of oil still. as
Do you
well.
still have a flask of oil?
Yes.
Okay.
So-
If you have some still, I'll take it in my water skin.
Well, no, it's mine.
No, not yours.
Oh, what?
Arctreon, I could technically set things on fire.
But I can't.
Well, I got a magic trick. I can show you a magic trick with my hands. You want to
Oh.
see it?
The telescope for long distance. Kevin, will that give us an advantage when we go to if we go to look at something or perception? Will they give us advantage?
Yeah, so he'll go back to the keep and basically after you kind of giving him your list of things you might need, he says, "Yes, I'll inquire to see what we have around." Getting a telescope, yeah, there's not an item I think in that has that, but it would be advantage on perception checks for sure.
Okay. Perfect. That's good for me.
Okay.
And after you guys kind of have this conversation, you kind of notice like a couple of villagers kind of starting to make their way through that front door as well. Kind of your conversation kind of starting to wake up a few inside as you notice just a few locals starting to make their way into the front courtyard as they're kind of looking up like this as the sun is starting to beam down on them as the sun's getting higher and higher.
Amara's
there-
just gonna scream, "Good morning, sunshines!"
No.
No?
I'm just gonna. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Let's just say good morning.
Nighthill kind of looks off as more villagers starting to come out to the front courtyard. He's like, well, better get this awful day started. And he kind of starts to hit his pipe on his forearm, on his bit of armor on his forearm. All right, if there's nothing else, I'll just look into your lists there. All right.
Okay.
May the gods be with you. And he kind of takes off back into the keep. But as you guys are standing there, one of the villagers amongst these others starts to approach you.
Oh.
This one young man kind of starts walking up to you, kind of limping heavily on his bandaged left leg. He looks pretty beat up, like he was a part of that first onslaught of maybe survivors that got saved. And as Nighthill kind of leaves you, kind of limps over on a crutch and approaches you all. He says, "Hello there. I don't mean to intrude your gathering here, but I heard that you intend to follow the raiders and see where they're going." See where they've gone?
Yes.
I'd like nothing more than to come with you and end whatever this thing is, but in this condition, I'd probably just slow you down.
I'm gonna touch him and just cure wounds on him.
Yeah? Okay.
I'm gonna roll that then. A 13.
A 13. So you go up to him and just kind of give him a pat on the shoulder, and all of a sudden you just see kind of this bruised and sort of dried, bloodied leg where these bandages are on this crutch, and you just see him kind of take a step back, almost like a cold hand touch the back of his neck. He just suddenly his posture goes up a bit, and he looks a bit dazed, and then he just looks at you, Amara, and looks down. Whatever you did, thank you.
You can join us. It'll be lots of fun.
Looks down and his leg seems to be okay as he's just sort of starting to bend it a little bit. He's like, and he kind of leans a bit more on it. Starting to get rid of the crutch, but he's still limping a tiny bit. But he starts to unwrap the bandage, and the wound that was there seems to be closed up. The dried blood starts to kind of like flake off. He's like, "That's amazing! You guys are amazing! Touch! Oh my God! Thank you so much. I don't know what I did to deserve that, but in the midst of all this tragedy, there's no reason why you would have heard about the fate of my master, Leosin Erlenthar.
What's your name?
My name is Nisem. Nisem Waladra.
Why do you want to come with us?
I mean, I'd love to, but I don't even know if this thing is fully healed. I'd have to check on it, but...
You'll be fine. Do you have any special skills?
Do you want me to shoot you in the foot so she doesn't drag you along? just whispering to him.
I'm gonna kick him a little and be like, we need the bodies.
Wait, I thought he said he wanted to come with us. Did he
Yes.
not say that?
Well, he said I'd come with you, but in this condition, I'd slow you down. And as Omara kind of healed that leg a bit, you still see him kind of limping a bit. It looked like it healed part of the wound, but not all the way through. As he's kind of taking a moment to kind of try to stand without the crutch. As he looks to you, he's like, "There's no reason you would have heard about the fate of my master, Leonsin Erlenthar. But it's important that you know, he's a monk from Bird Dusk. He also disappeared last night, and after we fought a particular savage battle against the raiders, a few others and I fought our way to the keep, just barely. But Leosin didn't make it after all, and we went back this morning to go look for him, but all we found was his broken staff and this choker, which he always wore." And he kind of hands it over to Apollo. And after he hands you his choker, he says, "Leosin has been investigating these raiders for months. And I fear that he might have tried to infiltrate their group when they retreated, or worse, but was captured and carried away as a prisoner. No one understands these bandits better than he does, and his knowledge will be invaluable against them. When you find their camp, please look for any sign that Leosin is there if you can. One of my brothers has already departed for Bird Dusk to bring back some help, but it will be many days before help arrives. Anything you can do before then would be a godsend."
What does he look like?
So Leosin starts to describe what his master looks like. So he is so Leosin is a monk, and he is a bit short. Actually, let me just bring up these stats. Because I have them here. So yeah, he's a bit of a shorter stock. Fairly like tan, heavy skins, got pointy ears on either side. It's kind of wearing this cascading various robes that are kind of an off-white with trims of blue around him. And he's got thick leather armor, kind of got gauntlets on his wrists, shin pads, carries a big staff on his back. Goatee, kind of black hair that's kind of mopped and kind of wavy off to the side.
I'm glad Amara's writing this down.
Oh, I am. Oh, yeah. Apollos, I think that he should come with us. You know, if we're able to get the horses at least, he could be kind of controlling the horses for us while we do other things, because we do need someone to watch the carriage or the wagon.
Wait. Have you ever swung a sword before, boy?
To be honest, I'm still under the tutelage of my master. I haven't really gone to that status just yet. I could try to see to my wounds, but I know that here in the Green Nest, they need a few bodies to stick around in case anything happens. But I was going to kind of do my part to try to guard the rest of the villagers and take part in the recuperation effort to kind of rebuild some of the towns. I could go ask them and see, but
How old does he
I
look?
mean,
he looks young. He's probably like 17 or so.
he could stay with the horses.
We're not. No,
He could
because
stay with the horses.
look at him. He's puny. He's tiny. He's not
Okay,
going to put up a fight.
but-
The best he's going to do is yell and alert them to our presence
No,
if
no,
they
no, no,
find
no.
the wagon. If they listen, the more bodies we bring, the more things we have to explain. And right now, it looks like I'm the one doing all the explaining when we get there. And
We could tell him he's our slave.
no.
We could use
treated
him
like
as a
such.
prisoner.
Hold on. Maybe on to something. I have two questions. I actually have one question for him.
Okay.
Do you have any sort of magical abilities? Can you cast spells?
We haven't really gotten to that part in the training just yet. Sorry, I kind of lost all my weapons in the fight. I tried to do my best, but this is kind of all I've got right now. Is he still like holding his ribs from the injuries that he sustained over the night before?
Amara, we're not bringing them more prisoners. We're
No,
supposed to
like we
take
could use him though. It's logic.
as a prisoner.
For
No.
what?
Hold on. I'm like grabbing both their heads and they're arguing. I'm like, stop. I look at him and said, if you can find a healing potion and heal the rest of your wound, you can come with us. If you cannot find one, I'm sorry. We cannot take any more casualties. We need you tip top.
Can I ask him a simple question? Just really, I don't think we've asked this. Do you want to come with us?
Particularly not. I think I should save some of these health potions for the wounded and the fatally ill. I don't know if I'd want to take any of them out of their way, but
What do you mean some of the how many health potions do you have?
I don't have any. I just know that they were in low supply and there are many people who are severely injured and might need them more than myself at this point. Especially after you worked your magic there. I mean, my God. Looking down to his leg and he's kind of like bending it back and forth.
I say,
I feel
I-
like he would be a bit more of a liability than anything.
yes, and I'm against bringing a child with us. Especially as an extra prisoner, it seems. The more people we endanger, the more people who are in danger. Do you understand? I'm kind of like looking at Amara as I'm talking.
But we can't just leave this stuff in the middle of nowhere unattended.
What stuff? It's a
If we
it's a
get our
wagon
stuff.
and a horse. We don't have anything else.
Horses
If
do
we-
what horses want to do.
It's decided you're staying here.
Thank you, Ark. This is
Thank you. I appreciate that. I can try to help you with this mission that you are incurring. I mean, anything you. How well versed are you with the dragon cultists?
Terribly not inversed at all.
well.
Spill the beans, kid. What do you know about the dragon cultists and the raiders? Sure, your
Well-
master taught you something.
Well, yes, kind of a few things. I mean, the monks were returning to Burdusk from the Great Library at Candlekeep, where Leosin was consulting the librarians and researching ancient writings on dragon folklore. The dragon cults are a special interest, you see. As you look at that choker, Apollo, you notice the choker is a braided leather neckband. And has like a silver dragon design kind of chast into the leather. The ends are kind of ragged, as it seems to be like roughly torn off. But speaking with him, he divulges some information about the ranks within the cult of the dragon. And some of this information actually perks up for you too, Apollo, as you do have a little bit of a history studying these ways as well. But he goes off, starts trying to give you anything that might be helpful to you, starts talking to you about like the recruitment process, how they accept initiates from a young age. These young initiates train for months or years before gaining any rank within the organization. and many trainees don't survive the tests. An initiator who passes the tests must choose an affinity to a particular color of dragon, like black, blue, red, green, white, that kind of thing. But if they are then welcomed, and then it says then that they're welcome to the ranks of known as Dragon Claw. The higher ranks of the cult, kind of in ascending order, are Dragon Claw, Dragon Wing, Dragon Fang, Dragon Soul, and Worm Speaker. Most of the cult's operations are overseen by local leaders called Wearers of Purple, named for the ceremonial robes that they all wear.
And
That's
what
kind of the
about
information
the
it does.
ceremonial ropes people do?
That just signifies that those are some of the leaders.
The
Like
leaders.
the local leaders are called Wearers of the Purple, due to the ceremonial robes that they wear. And if you remember, when you saw Langdarosa Signwrath, he was wearing an adornment of gold armor and purple linens and cloths and things like that.
And do they usually have special abilities or?
Special abilities, you kind of ask Nesem this. He's like, that kind of depends on the person. I mean, the rank doesn't necessarily give you powers. The person may be powerful. I mean, you'd probably have to be aware of purple.
Definitely, it seems if we are to encounter any of these wearers of purple, we do not want to do it one-on-one, looking at Ark. So always have backup. If we're going to split up in this camp, or I don't know how it's going to work, but one of us always needs to be with another, because 2 is the best survivability we got, apparently. Thank you, Nassim. If I were you, I would leave now before a monitor too long.
Nissim, one more question. What is the setup of the camps usually like? Is there like a big camp where this Wear of Purple will be? Like one tent or multiple tents?
I'm not too sure myself. I haven't. Most who come across dragon cultist camps don't usually survive to tell the tale. I would imagine the leaders might have their own separate tent amongst the soldiers, the footwork, but I mean, that's mostly that I can gather.
All right, well, I hope you can find some healing potions, maybe. I did what I can.
I thank you, dear. No, this is a tremendous help. Thank you so very much. It's a bright day after such a terrible night. But thank you. Keep an eye, and we'll wish you all luck on your journey. Thank you. And he kind of just sort of like rushedly starts to limp away from you all before you can script him into this dangerous mission.
We should, Amara. Let's before we try and conscript children into dangerous missions, let's just ask them if they want to first. Let's start with that
I
next
would
time.
assume that he wanted to find his master and be with him, you know.
There's wanting something and the capability to do something, and I'm just kind of watching him limp away. I'm like, you healed him fully. He's acting right now. He does not want to come. This is a child that is scared out of his mind and hoping that we can do something. I would rather not have that death on my conscience.
Some people have to learn the hard way, you see.
How? I'm gonna kind of like just move behind Ark very subtly, just like put
You know, I've been through a lot ever since I was 7 years old.
It's a very specific number.
I've seen many things. Done many things.
Can I insight check that? I want to know
Sure.
if she's like a murderer. She's like a serial killer.
Sure, roll insight. Do you want to make this a contested roll, Amara, or do you want him to just kind of see what yours? Okay.
Yeah.
Natural 20.
Yeah.
Adorable
Okay.
day, murderer by night.
Are you lying, Amara?
Nope.
Nope. Straight face. You look at it. You
Not
kind
a
of give
murderer. Well,
give her a second look into Amara's innocent eyes, through all that mystery and deadly sort of sinful joyness. You kind of look through it, and she's just straight face. Don't detect any sort of twitches or anything that would give you pause otherwise.
Cross that possibility off my list. Not a serial killer. Okay.
Yeah.
Yet. Oh no. I think I would like to check on some things before we go, but I feel as though we should go as soon as possible, because if the raid has ended and if we want to pretend we're cultists or have that possibility open to us, I feel as though it'll be easier if we can just pretend to be, oh, we're lazy, we walk slow kind of thing back to the camp, and not showing up, 3 days later as like, oh, we're totally cultists. I don't think that'll work as well. So I want to get there as soon as possible. Maybe even if we can find dead cultists outside and take their robes. I already have a set for myself, but we can dress the part and act the part. We might have a chance.
And as you remember, when the raid was happening, there were a few key cultists that were wearing those dark ceremonial, those dark robes, those dark leathers and black linens with those silver adornment armor on their faces and those strange curved scimitars. But the majority of the raiding party just seemed to be a hodgepodge of like bandits and kobolds and various types of despicable people. So if you guys sort of just as yourselves were just to, like, you see this raiding party approaching a town, if you all just joined them, it'd be hard to separate you from the majority of the raiding party, as they're all just wearing adventuring gear and just look like, unsavory people you'd see in a bad tavern. But also a good idea as well to try to find robes and to get that more official standing.
Yeah.
But as you were all having this discussion in the front courtyard, trying to figure out what you want to do, some time passes throughout the day as you kind of start again. As you go back inside and find Avery, who is woken up, you see him kind of tending to the many villagers inside and just being the most of use, going outside, trying to help the guards get the villagers back to their homes and things of that nature. But as some time goes by, you meet up with Avery, tell him what you're about to do, and he just says, "This is very dangerous, but these people, they need help rebuilding the town, and they don't have very many guards left. I feel that someone should stay behind just in case there may be more raiders out there. What if another wave comes from another place? They're going to need some strong people to hang on. If it's all right with you, I'm going to stay here and await your return."
Fair enough.
Apollos, just one more thing. While I was sleeping, I do have a little something special I prepared. So, you want to be sneaky, and you want all of us to be sneaky. I actually have just the thing for that. I do have a spell I prepared in my sleep thing. It is a veil of shadows that masks me and all of us from detection. So we get a plus, a little more dexterity. And basically, you can't track us by any means besides magic.
How many can you cover with this?
All of us.
Oh,
Any of my companions.
good, because I'm clumsy.
Yes.
Well, I'm thinking.
I just need a tiny thing. I need ashes from a burned leaf of a mistletoe or a sprig of spruce, preferably.
It's very specific. I was thinking if we're going to use that and it can cover everyone, that might be a good use for escape. I'm thinking if we try and talk our way in and then sneak out. I think that would be the best situation. And if we could sneak out and you use that and it's with us and all the prisoners that we're
Yes.
returning, that might be a good idea. Maybe we pass by a forest or something along the way. You can find those
Burn a
items.
mistletoe or two.
Truly, yes.
Okay. Very good. Just so you know.
I will keep that in mind. Thank you
Yes.
very much.
Noted.
Because we could avoid any potential fighting.
Yes, we want to do that, right, Ark? No fighting.
Don't look at me.
I'm looking at you. What happens if we see Langderosa again?
Oh, I will
Yeah.
cleave
Nope.
him and
No, you won't. Not this time. Not yet. If we tell you what, Ark, if you somehow discover a way to isolate Langderosa, I will personally help you take care of him silently. I'm thinking, if at all possible, and he's asleep, and we just pass by his tent, and he's sleeping soundly like a baby, we just come in and stab the baby.
Not the bit.
It's a metaphor. You know what I'm talking about. He killed Ark. I have no pity for him. Is that acceptable? Otherwise, we leave him for the next day.
20 gold says we can do it.
I don't have 20 gold.
No, you'll have 20 gold.
If I have 20 gold, you're on.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
fine. I shall resist the cleaving and the mauling and the stabbing and the hammering.
Any violence,
Mm.
unless I, how about this? Unless I give you the look. Maybe we need to brutalize someone who questions us just to be like, hey, you don't know what you're talking about, and I will give you the look, and you will do your thing. Okay.
Deal.
Okay.
Deal.
Sorry, Amara, what was that that skill you were saying from before? I just want to check it.
Pass without a trace.
Oh, pass out a trace. Yes, of course. Yes. Very, very good for being sneaky. Sorry, I thought it was something else, but nope, that's all good. Okay, so as some time kind of goes by, you kind of see the villagers starting to leave the inside of the keep and go back into the town of Green Nest to reclaim their homes, to start rebuilding whatever was destroyed. Avery has volunteered to kind of stay behind and help with the efforts to rebuild the town and to kind of keep guard in case anything sneaks up on these people. As you guys are kind of recouping and getting ready to head out, Nighthawk comes back to you and says, "Hello there. How are you all doing? Are we ready to head out? We were able to require you a wagon. We do have a wagon with one horse available, and here you go, big guy." And just tosses Arctreon this telescope that's kind of silver on the outside, couple of bronze sort of inlay, goes out about a foot or so, and that will allow you to have advantage on perception checks. But he's like, it's out near the back. It's the best we could do. There weren't very many wagons or horses left behind, unfortunately, but this will do. Is there anything else you require?
My
Do
goal.
you happen to have a mistletoe leaf?
Gold, yes. Reaches to his pocket, a little pouch. Gives you 100 gold. Trust you won't leave us there, eh?
No, not for 100 gold. Do you have more? I'm joking. I'm sorry.
He kind of just says it jokingly, then as you said it, he kind of goes, oh shit, what if they do leave? He says, mistletoe leaf? And he looks over and sees Everly, the priest, over kind of tending to people with his health potions and his aid kits, kind of tending to more wounds. In the morning, he's like, Everly, do you have mistletoe leaf or anything of that nature? And he's just like, looks into like his many pouches that he has around him. He's like, this? He's like, yeah, I think Amara would like one. What do you need it for again?
Shadows.
Magic.
Magic.
Sorry I asked. Anyway, goes over, hands the leaf, hands it over to you.
Thank you.
No problem.
That is all.
Well, I can't thank you enough for all that you've done for us. Just don't die out there, okay?
Die? Who's dying?
Is this a borrowed pony or is it our pony now?
Your pony? That wasn't really discussed. He lent you the pony and the wagon for the trip. If you wanted to barter him for it to be your own, you certainly can when you come back.
Okay.
I'm sure you'd probably, with all the help you're doing, I'm sure it wouldn't be that hard a conversation.
Okay. What does the pony look like and what is its name? Very
Pony
important
looked like
details.
what's his name. So as he kind of leads you to the back entrance of the keep, you go out there and you see this wagon that's like not the best. It looks pretty beat up, very very old, weathered looking. The wheels are kind of like a little bit wobbly as a guard kind of walks out the horse to you. The horse itself is of this sort of eggshell white and has this kind of cream mane that kind of goes down the side and matches with the tail on the back, with black hooves and kind of white hair that kind of tufts around the ankles of the horse and its legs. But it's nice like sheen color. It's a very nice horse.
I'm going to name him Eggnog.
Does
guard
he have a name already?
We just called him Billy, but you could call him Eggnog if you
Bill the
want.
pony. Oh my god, sorry.
I would much rather him be Eggnog.
Nicknames.
He's a good steed, this one. He'll call him whatever you like. Please take care of him. There's a guard kind of like pets him a couple times on the mane.
We'll bring him back safely.
Guys, this is basically Lord of the Rings now. We just got Bill the pony.
I will protect him with my life.
Okay. Yeah, don't question it. Don't. Okay.
I walk up and grab the rein just to lead him back with us. I'm taking charge of the pony.
Okay. So as you kind of take the reins from the guards, Nighthell, after he leaves you off, just comes back towards the keep to go back to his duties. And with Arlie kind of holding the reins in tow as you have this sort of beat up wooden rugged wagon beside it or behind it, Nighthell kind of turns around and was like, I forgot. Some of the lads inside, they were wondering what to refer to you all as. Any kind of name that we should refer to you in your group during all these operations? We weren't sure if you go by anything.
The
We're
cat
the
people.
A-team.
I was just about to say that.
Oh,
I'll take 18.
I like cat people. Can we?
Or
talk
like
about this
Amara
now?
and the hooligans. I'm Amara and I have many hooligans.
You know what? A-team sounds good. A-team is good. Yeah, sounds about right.
A-team?
Yeah.
I don't know why I never put that together before. As he just like turns around, realizing that all of your names start with A. Goes into the keep. And so you have the horse reins in your hand, Arlie, as you're kind of trotting beside the horse. What would you like to do? You know that there was mentioned that the trail is going to the south northern point, I believe.
South northern.
No, that doesn't sound right.
I believe it was northwest.
Oh,
Double check.
Sorry, I got so many notes all over here.
Apollos, do you think that it would be too late to wait until nightfall to kind of infiltrate?
If we want to convince them, we don't even know how far away the camp is so far.
Southeast. There we go.
I was right.
I know how to get there. southeast. So you've got kind of a direction to go down. You're kind of sort of behind the keep at this point, but you're looking around as many of the villagers are kind of going back to their homes. You see people kind of just start to like collect anything off the ground that may be valuable to them, starting to board up windows and things like that. But you can kind of start to look on the ground, and you could look for tracks from the different raiders that came through, kind of going towards the southeast. You kind of make your way through the town and kind of get to the edge of this area, and then you can start looking around for tracks and see where the majority of them go.
I'd like to take a moment to look for some cultist robes, or because we fought several of those specific higher end cultists along the way. Can I just go back to those points that we fought those guys and kind of pick up some extra robes and masks, stuff like that?
Yeah, so the majority of the raiders that you fought were bandits. At the church, you fought one very official looking cultist with those black robes and everything, but it did appear to be mainly bandit majority. But make investment. Trying to think. Make a perception check as you're kind of walking through the village here and kind of looking around, seeing if there's any leftover robes or anything like that.
Can I do oh, you don't even need it. I was gonna say advantage.
Yeah, you could have advantage on that. You help with luck.
Yeah.
19.
19. So yeah, kind of going through the town, you're kind of looking around, seeing if there's anything around, but unfortunately nothing comes to your eye. There doesn't seem to be any leftover robes or adornments or anything. Out of this onslaught that came across this town, you know that the guard number here was severely overwhelmed by the sheer amount of raiders and things like that. So whatever was left behind, they probably would have picked up on their way out. But as far as any of those dark robes or anything, you're not able to see any, unfortunately.
Okay. And one more thing. Before all this started, the night before the day before, I had spent time in a bookstore for a period of time. Can I go check on that?
Check in the bookstore?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I just want to see if it's still up, if the owner's there, or...
Yeah. I'm gonna make a perception check. You were there before. So as you're about to sort of going through the middle part of the town, you're looking at all the ravaged storefronts, all the ravaged homes, everything that's been taken in this crazy attack. You kind of go to your party and be like, 1 sec, I just want to check up on something. You kind of part away from them for a minute and make your way to where that bookstore was. And as you finally see it in view, there's only a third of it standing, as you just see wisps of smoke sort of still rising into the air from the fresh night's attack. And it's just charred black wood, and the inside is completely destroyed.
Is there anyone hanging? You said people were starting to come out of the keep and kind of go back to where they were. Can I see if I can spot the owner around or in it? You do see somebody, as you kind of walk up close, you don't see anyone immediately on the storefront. But as you kind of sort of looking around, you kind of hear a bit of a muffled cry coming from behind the storefront, or behind the bookstore. I'm going to go check it out immediately.
Okay.
I have to emergency run to the washroom. I'm back in 2 seconds.
Yeah, go for it. So going behind the bookstore. I'm just bringing up what the bookstore was. Okay, so you go behind the bookstore, and you just see a person just with his hands in his head, just sobbing.
Do I recognize him?
From before? Yeah, it's the shop owner.
Is there something in front of him? Is he or is he just at the building?
He's behind the destroyed bookstore, hand in his head, just crying.
I'm gonna walk up behind him and just kind of carefully put my hand on his shoulder.
Like, huh? Oh, hello, young man. Sorry.
It's perfectly fine. I'm sorry this happened to you. Here, and I'm just gonna take out 50 gold and kind of palm it to him, and just be like, just take this, and I hope it helps. I hope it helps rebuild this wonderful place.
Thank you, my man. Very much appreciate it. Who are you? When did we meet earlier?
Yes, I visited your lovely little shop. I just wanted to come and check. I personally, I'm someone who cares very much for books and those who choose to sell them and make it their life's work. And I appreciate what you do, and I just wanted to help in what little way I could.
Thank you, my kind sir. I do appreciate it. This should help me rebuild, but I lost so many of my treasures inside. And this man is fairly older. He's probably like 75 or so. Just kind of like a frail old man, kind of a balding head, and has kind of like a long beard that kind of comes down to about here, graying on the top and the bottom, a bit frayed, wearing some robes, some warm linens, but it comes up to you and says, "My name is Finn."
Finn, trust me, I will. I'm going out to see if I can get some of these stolen items back, and I trust I will look for you. So, hope. But I must go. I wish all the best for you. And I'm going to turn around and kind of head out.
Head back.
Yeah.
Okay. He says, thank you, my friend. God, may the gods be with you. Just kind of waves over to you as you leave, and the rest of you just see Apollo kind of make his way back, a little exasperated, a little frustrated.
Ready to go?
Yep.
Aye.
I've been ready.
Okay. So as you make your way to this sort of southeastern point of the town, sort of leaving the town, city, or sort of village limits, you kind of find yourself in kind of a tall grass area, and you start looking around, see if you can spot any tracks that kind of lead into the direction of where the raiders may have headed. Who wants to make a perception check?
Can I do it? I have a +4.
Sure.
Okay.
I would also like to, as maybe like a separate thing. I don't know how, but I want to look out for any just like active like ambush points or any possibilities where like anyone could kind of like jump on us. Like if we're following these tracks, they might have left like people, because this is not hidden. So I want to look out for any ambush.
So you can make a perception check, Mara, and you can make one too, Apollo.
16.
16.
16 as well.
16 as well. So the raiders' path is fairly easy to follow across these rolling grasslands around this area of the green fields. You kind of notice a wide swath of grass that is pretty much trampled down. It's really hard to determine sort of the raiders' numbers precisely, but the path kind of confirms what you kind of already knew, that there were a lot of them, and they were kind of a mix of humans and kobolds and reptiles and things of that nature. Some of the beasts' footprints, though, you notice, Amara, that are a lot deeper sort of on the retreat than they were on the approach, kind of signifying that they were perhaps weighed down with something, and remembering sort of the things that you saw during the night's raid, that you saw them looting, taking people's things. One of them mentioned that they were, collecting treasures for something. This kind of corroborates that theory, that like they were obviously carrying things back with them wherever they're going. But sorry, Apollo, you were looking for, as you're kind of making your way forward, you're looking for ambush points, anything like that?
Yeah, and also I've like, just because I forgot to say, can I have like put on the cultist robes and just like sit in the front of the wagon? I'm a leader. As I'm
so as this is sure. So this is something I was going to ask too. As you're kind of making your way out with this wagon, what are your positions exactly? Like who's in the front? Who's walking beside the wagon? Or all of you inside the wagon? Someone sort of out in the front directing traffic, driving. What are you? What's your situation?
I'm in the back.
Okay.
I'm like walking beside the horse.
Okay, trotting next to it.
I'll just be in the front.
In the front?
Apollos, I can possibly turn into an animal to help track. I just can't talk to you guys.
I think I'm really good at tracking anyway.
I think we should
Maybe
save
like-
as much power as possible as well. For now.
Yeah. Okay. Because also, like, I could scout ahead as an animal. I doubt they will bother with me.
Maybe, or they could see you as dinner. And as I'm like putting on the dragon mask that I found, I am going to hope that they see this mask and it holds some semblance of authority and they don't attack on sight if we don't see them first. It's like a backup.
Okay.
And then maybe we can talk our way
I
out.
also think I'm quite noticeable.
I have something to say that I never thought I would. I need you to be more crazy. I need you to because
Crazy?
because they seem to be, and I'm looking at Ark and I'm like, act like a criminal would, because it seems like they're kind of like rough and tumble, like bandits, but also like cultists, right? So if I'm the only one in the cultist robes, if the rest of you, and I'm kind of looking around, the rest of you can act a little bit more rough around the edges, that might help us a bit.
We aren't in disguise as you are.
No, but there were plenty of people attacking the village who weren't in robes such as this, and so if you just act as though you view me as some sort of authority figure, can I tell? Is this like the person who wore these robes? Can I tell what kind of like rank they would be? Like claw, wing.
Yeah, make a history check.
10.
10. So you're kind of looking at the robes and the designs. This looks like this might have belonged to a dragon claw.
Okay.
I am just a little worried that maybe the escaped people might notice us, you know?
What do you mean the escaped people? Oh, the
Yes.
prisoners?
And I was quite noticeable.
Well,
I'm sure they'll know that. Not to be like, look, it's our saviors. They've come to help us.
So if you do, from your, I will say, just to chime in, from your battles that you've had over this past day, a lot of the cultists that you ran into, you obliterated, except for that one guy who saw all of you and ran back to Langdorosa. So you did have one cultist who did see all of your faces and who you were and was able to make that escape. So it's not a far-fetched idea that if you were all kind of ran into those people who saw you with what you were wearing at the time and how you looked, that maybe there could be someone who could recognize you. But as you kind of they left kind of late last night and you're kind of trying to get on their tail early in the morning, you would kind of surmise that, you know, they have probably like a 4-hour lead ahead of you. So there is that little window of distance of like, oh, can we kind of catch up to them before this raiding party, wherever they're going, like if they're going back to a camp or back to a headquarters, like to let everyone know like who we are, like maybe there's a way we can get ahead of them. And maybe there are some cultists who maybe don't know who we are, or has that sect got back to them? It's hard to determine at this point. It's kind of anyone's ball game.
Do we have an advantage if we like just all get on the wagon and like ride the horse? Well, besides Arlie, because Arlie can help pull.
For speed, well, at this point, you're
Yes.
just so at this point you got out of Green Nest. You to that southeastern point. You looked around to see like where the raiders' tracks were going. You saw that there was this heavy swab of tracks kind of leading a particular direction. So moving forward, going on to the wagon, yeah, it'll definitely help with your speed. That's a plus. Second, someone has to keep on survival checks to keep tracking the prints to kind of keep leading into the right direction.
Okay, would Arlie want to just do that because she can help control the wagon while tracking, and we can all just.
That's what I'm thinking. Because I have +5 on
Yeah.
animal handling and let's see, +3 on nature. Wait, what was it you said?
Survival.
Survival checks.
Could
+3
she
on
technically do nature?
So survival is the check that you usually do to roll for seeing tracks in the dirt, in the
Right.
mud, knowing that you're going in the right spot. Nature is more for like animals, seeing what different leaves do, sort of things like that.
Okay. What do you guys have for survival?
I have a +4.
Survival, I have +4.
2.
Okay.
Mara, you would be the best one for that.
And remember, you could help each other with certain skill checks as well. So you could either each two of you do a roll, or you could help someone and give them advantage.
Yeah. If both Amara and I rolled for survival to continually like check that we're on the right path.
Yeah. I
I'm
will
going
do
to
that.
I'm going to sit at the front and look authoritative and keep pointing at things like I know what I'm talking about, just in case anyone sees, and like pointing at Amara, yeah, that way, pretending to be cultist. I am at heart.
Okay.
I reach in the back of the wagon and pull out like a really long like driving whip and just hand it to you.
Holding it the wrong way around. Yeah.
So as Apollo gets out of his adventuring gear, out of his that tall hat that he wears, and his nice sort of dark navy blue clothes, starts to put on the dark black robes of a cultist with that shining silver head mantle that kind of got his nose up with waving spikes kind of protruding into the air, as this black furred tabaxi with this cat tail out to the side, and black fur protruding out of all these cultist robes, sitting in front of this very ravaged old wooden wagon, being led by a white horse with cream-colored mane, a centaur beside that, and a big, huge, hulking Leonin barbarian kind of stuck in the back with Amara. Are you in the wagon as well? Or are you beside the wagon?
I will be like kind of in the front next to the horse, so I can kind of like guide it a little bit while I'm like doing my survival tracking.
Yeah, so you got Arlie in the front there, kind of helping with the horse. I'm just saying, like, because you said you might transform into an animal, but you're just yourself, right?
Yeah, myself, because
Okay.
I think I'll save it. Yeah.
So you were going to be doing the survival checks?
Yes.
Okay. Is anyone helping her, or is she just doing this flat?
I will help her.
You'll help her? Okay, so you'll get these at advantage. So as you now have a good bead on these tracks leading out of the green nest, make a survival check at advantage to see if you can keep following them down and see where they lead.
Does that mean I just rolled twice?
Yeah, you roll twice and you take the higher of the two.
Wow.
23.
I got a nat 1 and then I got a nat 20.
What did you get?
23.
23. So leading the way as Apollo kind of finally puts on those robes of his, you're very easily able to kind of find that swath in the grass as it just goes out of Green Nest and leads you down quite a ways. You're finding yourself going ahead about 12 miles or so in this direction. And you notice that as you're kind of leaving these rolling sort of grassy hills, you're starting, the area around you starting to change. The environment starting to become more of a rugged region where steep-sided rocky plateaus replace the gently rolling hills. The land between the plateaus, they're largely flat, broken only by outcroppings and wandering streams and deep-sided gullies. The plateaus jet about 50 to 100 feet above their surroundings and are kind of difficult terrain to climb, except where kind of rock falls and subside, creating kind of natural rampways. But So you notice that the lush greenery environment started sort of slowly changing into more of a rocky terrain as you're kind of going forward. Make another survival check really quick for me.
Both of us?
Either one person at advantage or one of each.
23.
Let's just use that then.
Okay.
So 23. So as you are kind of been going for probably like in about an hour or so at this point, probably longer, 12 miles. Yeah, probably going for like a couple hours at this point. Going through the day is sunny, shining through, pretty clear sky as well. But as you're kind of going through this trail leading through this rocky plain, I'm going to have you all make perception checks really quick.
Eight.
17.
So sorry, 17?
13.
13?
8.
8?
9.
9. So it makes sense. So the people out in the front hear this before Arctreon and Apollo. As you've been traveling for quite some time, noticing the environment change around you, you start to wonder if, like, are we any closer? Are we getting on their tail? Like, it's been a long time and we haven't heard or seen anything. You know, you've got the horse, so you're trotting around pretty steadily, but you're starting to worry if, like, maybe they're just gone, maybe they're missing, maybe they've moved on and we're just not going to be able to catch up to them. But it's right at that moment of doubt that you do hear something. You hear, you start to hear a grouping of various voices ahead of you, almost sounding like an argument, squabbling. You hear various voices and various pitches just arguing with each other. No, look, get out of here, all right? This food is for us. That food is for you, okay? I've had enough with these goddamn kobolds. They're good for nothing. Go over there. Go, shoot.
Hey, man, we want some food too. This is our... What? You've got all the good turkey legs. We got scraps.
Nope, get over there. We said get. And you just hear this, like, arguing and rambling, family squabbling several feet ahead of you. And with those high perception checks, Arlie and Amara, you see several feet ahead of you that there are 4 human cultists and 8 kobolds out in the distance, squabbling amongst themselves near sort of a nearby makeshift campsite. And it's here that we'll go over to Roll20 for you to see your first map of the day. So it's just to the right of the castle map that we had before.
So I'm assuming me and Arlie stopped the wagons. So we can, like, prepare.
For sure. So you kind of have that wagon out behind you. And actually, I can get a cool little wagon token here.
I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick.
There we go. So say this is your wagon here.
So what do you guys think we should do?
So as Amara and Arlie kind of stop the wagon to a halt, Arctreon, your whole body kind of go just kind of shakes in the back for your massive form as the cart suddenly stops. As Arlie and Amara, you can kind of see sort of far off in the distance past that sort of makeshift wooden bridge into that clearing. This group of humans and kobolds just squabbling at each other, and they look very similar to the cultists that you'd run into before.
What is it?
They're, arguing over food. And the people are very mean to the little dragon-looking weirdos, lizard people.
What do you guys want to do? Should we go along the path, or should we try to sneak around them and into the trees somehow?
It would be kind of hard with the wagon.
Right.
Back.
Apollo's back.
All right, big brains.
Yeah.
What's the plan?
So just to reiterate for Apollo, so you were sort of driving the wagon, and all of a sudden Amara and Arlie just stopped the wagon. Like, what's going on? And they look ahead and they spotted 4 human cultists arguing with 8 kobolds, bickering over dinner and what they're going to eat that night. As you see a little makeshift camp made beside them, and they're wearing similar garbs as the cultists that you ran into earlier.
Do we want to? I mean,
the human people are very mean to the lizard people.
They all just raided and killed a village.
I don't know. They seem a little bit racist.
There's only 12. We could take them.
You want to kill them? What if we could get the lizard people to be our minions, and you could be the lord of the lizard people?
Can I look at the humans? Do I recognize any of them?
Make a investigation. If you're kind of in sort of looking through them, trying to figure out any details about their persons or their faces or anything like that.
7.
So unfortunately, they are wearing some of those silver mirrored masks over their face and heavy black robes. Not able to discern their faces, unfortunately.
So these are not the average bandits. All right, these look like legit cultists. Might be tougher. We have to get through here, and honestly, with this amount of kobolds, it'll probably, I hate to say it, but I believe you're right. Violence is the answer here. But only if we can quickly and quietly take them out. We don't want any of them escaping and telling anyone what happened here. Arlie, you have a bow, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And Amara, I would prefer if you saved your strength, because I know you have limited powers. I would prefer to be at our best when we got there. So whether you can assist with smaller stuff or stuff like that, or maybe guard the wagon or something, but don't use anything too big. We want to save our strength here. And now I call this one Guerrilla Warfare. Arlie, you and I move ahead in the trees, and we try and quickly take out a few of those humans. Those humans are the major problem. The kobolds are, quite frankly, not very smart. So if we take out the commanders in this situation, quickly and quietly, the kobolds will probably scatter, be easy pickings, right? So I think our hope here is to take out those humans. And we could play this one of two ways. Either just Arlie and I go in and try and stealthily, as fast as possible, take down the humans first. I'm thinking if you can get behind them as quickly as possible and stop any of them from running towards the camp.
So take that path along the right side there.
Yes, if you could come around and surprise from behind, cause big distraction. Arlie and I will try and stay hidden as long as possible. You're good at that, I know. Arlie and I will try and stay hidden as much as possible in the front and focus on the humans. Amara and Ark, if you guys want to go around back and take on and just cause confusion and take them on from behind. So we come in from both sides at the same time.
I like it. Let's do it.
And then if the humans turn around to attack you guys in the back, Arlie and I will come out of hiding and engage them.
Okay.
But we're gonna try and quick and clean. Yes, and we'll leave the potentially loud horse and wagon here for the moment.
I'll be quick, but I don't promise to be clean.
me too. You just like, pshing, and my nails just like shoot out.
That was more for myself and Ollie, but you two go in and cause a ruckus. Do what you're good at.
I do want to keep the wagon within sight, though.
If we left it here, down there, it would still be inside, right? Still be good.
Okay. I just don't want it to get stolen or something.
Yeah. Do you,
Hitch
Kevin?
the horse up to a tree or something.
Mm-hmm.
They're on the rocks there. Is that like swords and stuff?
Make a perception check.
Oh,
Oh.
can I give him an advantage on that?
Sure. You're all just kind of sussing out the situation. You all know that there's people up ahead, so you're just kind of carefully like
Ooh.
seeing
19.
what's in the area. 19. So, as these human cultists squabbling with these kobolds, bullying them almost in a sense in this situation, you notice that the cultists' weapons are all laid up against a wooden stump at the moment, seemingly where they've settled down most of their gear.
Change of plans. Amara, if you want to come with Arlie and I,
Okay.
if we could cut them off and stop them from grabbing those weapons. Ark, you do same plan. Big distraction from the back. Keep just slash away, hack and slash. And Arlie, if you could support fire, we could
Absolutely.
do this. I will move to close range.
And you do notice also that you do have some brush and cover along the sides here, should you try to be going the stealthy route as well.
Yes. So the Ark, try and be stealthy until we engage. So just kind of.
I'm gonna try.
Okay. Arlie, be ready. If they notice him before he attacks, we just jump in. Okay. All right. Plan.
Got it.
Right.
Break.
Okay, so trying to go in stealthily, get a bit close.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Let's change the music. So, as you notice these groups of human cultists and kobolds up ahead squabbling and arguing with them, as the human cultists just like pushing the kobolds over and arguing with them like, this is all didn't get your own, you good for nothing kobolds. God, I never liked them anyways. And they're just trying to figure out what to do in this instance. You see them ahead, start to make your moves. So we are not in initiative just yet because they don't know you're there. So if you're all trying to be stealthily, getting a bit closer, we'll have you all roll stealth checks, please.
19.
19.
13.
Oh,
13.
Well, I got a
I'm rolling really well though.
You are.
Clunky.
What'd you get, Amara?
19.
19. So the rest of you is trying to detailing your plans. Okay, we got this, all right? We're not gonna make a sound. We're gonna get very close. Then you just see Arctreon behind you.
Look at the cultists.
They're too busy arguing amongst themselves to have heard it. You're pretty far away, so you see them going, oh yeah, there's another thing. Kobolds and good for nothing. We could have taken out town without your help. And they're just like arguing between themselves. But with that, stealthily going in, they did not hear that. So make your moves. Where would you like to go?
Can I just do a sleight of... Would I have to do a sleight of hand to just steal the weapons?
To steal them?
I mean, we just
I
move
would
them.
say you could move them as well. You could grab them. It wouldn't be a sleight of hand because you're not stealing them from somebody. They're out in the open.
So I can steal them.
You could if you want to, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to take them and... Or try to take it and just put it on the wagon. So
this will be important. First, dictate to me where you're moving and how. Because, for
Okay.
instance, they are all arguing amongst themselves. You did get a high stealth roll, so you could sneak your way over here
Yes.
and try to just take them and
can't
then
move my
move somewhere
token.
else.
I also can't move my guy.
Oh, geez.
But
good.
yeah, that is exactly where I would want to be, to just like take them and then move it. So I would basically want to just like run up and then take it and then run to the wagon, like run back.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing as well. Got to remember. You are all, this is why I asked just about sneaking, because this is all clear.
Mm-hmm.
No trees, no cover, with 8 kobolds looking over here. So you're not invisible.
Yeah.
Wait, would I be able to like hide behind the rock? Same with Apollos and Arlie?
So here's the thing. If I was looking at a wide open road
Mm-hmm.
and saw one person doing that, I'd still be able to see you. So stealth is a thing where you can roll high on your stealth, and if you're behind cover, you're in the trees, people won't hear you sneaking around. But even if you rolled a natural 20 and you're in an open area just tiptoeing, they see you. So in this instance, you can't directly just make your way from here over here currently without the kobolds just straight seeing you.
Maybe this is a good time to use that spell, Mara.
Which
We
one?
only have one usage of that, don't we?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Two.
Yeah, and even with Pass Out of Trace, it increases the ability for stealth and things like that, but you're still in an open area.
Have one.
You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
basically the only way to not get detected from here over here would be to somehow just distract these kobolds to like look over here for a minute, be invisible.
If
Yeah. Wait, would
If-
Arctreon know what we're doing?
we did tell him to hack and slash.
Okay.
You're
going
still
inside.
in my view, you're still all currently here.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm saying all this just before you make your first move, just so you have all the information.
So I guess we would just be talking and tell Arctreon to go first.
If Art goes in,
Yeah.
right,
Mhm.
the moment he engages, Arlie and I engage with the humans, and then Amara focuses on moving the weapons as we're engaged,
Yes.
right? That would work, right? Because
Because
we're
you guys
all
can shoot from far away, so technically they don't have to be up in your.
we can. Well, I wanted to move in
I want to
closer.
make a very
Oh.
You're frozen.
That's good.
There we go.
hold on. I
Mhm.
want to make a
Okay.
key point here. I just want to say something. So, if I'm move over, you guys can see my character here in the trees, right?
Mhm.
Okay, see me in the trees there. In the case that I do, because I have bagpipes, and I'm willing to just give them to you. I have them. I straight up have bagpipes
Oh.
with me. Don't ask me why. But at their attention, one of the things that they might try to do is go for those weapons that are right there. So
Mhm.
that's my only thing.
Yeah.
So what I could do is get close enough. I could probably get like right there and just start shouting, start threatening them or whatever. And then regardless of what they're gonna like, I'm just assuming that if I start doing something or distracting them, they're gonna want to go for those weapons that are just chilling there.
The
That's
other
the-
thing,
Well, maybe you could pit them against each other somehow.
I think they're all still part of the same cult, but if the
They're
other thing we
fighting.
could do,
I was about
So
to say,
I will say, because you are high stealth, sneaking around, whatever, if you're able to approach these guys without them noticing you, you will get a surprise round, which means you'll get a whole round of attack on them before they can even like react, and then you'll go into initiative.
the thing here is the other thing we could do is just Ark joins us all and we just rush the humans, right, in the front, and that puts us in between the kobolds and the weapons. So knowing how lacking in intelligence kobolds tend to be, they might just see this big, angry, loud Leonin and a bunch of enemies and try and run the other way, which then gives us the opportunity to just pick them off instead of going for the weapons. They're not smart, and they're not quite courageous. So if we scare them, they might just scatter. And if we can quickly eliminate the threat, which I think are the humans, we might have a chance here. And that
So
puts
should
us
I
in
just
between.
go with Arc and kill the kobolds?
I think that we all go in together and just, I think Ark comes in from behind a little bit or on the side and just bum rushes them. We come in from this angle and we just take out the humans as fast as possible.
Yeah,
Let's
if
do
you
it.
guys got bows, you could just.
Yeah, if the kobolds try and run, I'm faster than any of them. I can say that quite confidently. I'm pretty sure Ali is as well. And we both have bows. They're not getting away.
Do it.
Let's do
Okay.
that. All right.
So am I good here then?
So yeah, you've successfully sneaked over to that area. You're kind of hidden in the trees and the bush there. The three of you are kind of staying behind by the wagon currently.
There's like bush up here and stuff. Like
I
I'm
wanna
trying to
be, like
to the point that we can like kind of just run in and engage them from here to where they don't see us until we're on them. You know what I mean? Because it looks like there's like a tree here or like cover in front of us.
Yeah. So I would say, so the three of you here, I would say stealth check to get behind this kind of broken down ruin over here, to kind of hide behind that. To get to the next step, I'll have you do another stealth check to get closer.
So
What do you
would
want?
my 19 count from me getting from the wagon area to that?
So first stealth check right here, as that was sort of you going to your first point of cover. Going from there to another point of cover will require another stealth check as you're kind of like making your way over. So it leaves you susceptible to like, stepping on tree branches or tripping or things like that.
Can we assist because we're all kind of grouped together, the three of us?
There's no way to like group stealth check. You can't really assist each other. If you were to assist, it would be like you don't go, they go.
Okay.
But if this is kind of a group check, it's not one you can really give advantage on to each other.
25.
25,
Good 21.
21,
A 4.
4.
Two
So
high
as
rolls.
you So as you kind of, as Arctreon, kind of, you have that plan, Arctreon splits off from you, goes over near the kobolds and the shrubbery, you kind of lose him in the trees. You all get behind that ruin. And as you're kind of sort of seeing them still in heated argument with each other, Amara has her hand on this ruin, kind of just goes up and a chunk of rock kind of falls off the dilapidated ruin. You all go down. What did I tell you? No, yeah, kobolds are fucking stupid. And one of them just kind of looks over, and then they just still arguing with each other amongst themselves, but they did not see you. So you are still all covered.
Okay. Sorry, it was my fingernails.
So from there, moving from there, did you want to go to this bush shrub over here?
Yeah.
Okay. So you were all kind of successfully, you waited for a good moment where they weren't seeing you, made your way into the shrubs over there. What is the plan now?
I'm just gonna
You're
run
all
up.
hidden from view. You're gonna go in for an attack?
I'm gonna run in and like.
The stealth attack, maybe?
I mean that might they're it's the same
Yeah,
thing for me.
They don't see you. They don't see all of us. So technically, we, like you said, we get that round of Haya.
But
Yeah.
so you're all separate. So are you all doing like a conjoined attack? Like Arctreon, you're attacking the kobolds?
Yeah.
The moment
before
the moment Ark engages, I think the plan was the moment he engages and they look over, we engage.
Okay.
Humans.
that. Bingo.
So Arctreon, you kind of in the shrubs. It's hard for you to kind of see your friends through the shrubbery and all that, but you just kind of barely see the tail of Apollo kind of through the shrubs, kind of has it up. And then you just make your presence known as you get up your great axe. How would you like to attack? Who do you want to hit what with?
Well, I am gonna.
Hey!
Down there. Make sure. I'm just gonna grab that really quickly so we don't forget that. There we go. And I'm literally gonna jump to right here, and then I'm just like pull over the head with the great axe into that one.
Okay, so you kind of all, like the three of you are kind of behind the bushes, really close to the humans. You're like, what's the signal again? How's Arctreon gonna let us know that he's gonna attack? This huge, loud bear and Leonin like amalgamation roar suddenly comes out, and you see all the kobolds just whip behind them like a feral animal just jumped out of the shrubs at them. You get a surprise round on the person that you want to hit, Arctreon. So you're going for this kobold here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so make your 20? Natural 20?
No.
Okay. So
16
you're
plus.
raging, you attack. Make your attack, my man.
Now, I just really quick question. My rage was counted as my bonus action, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I
But
cannot...
that was before you this is a surprise round.
Okay.
So you could say that before you attacked, you put on your rage because you're not in combat just yet because this is a surprise round.
Okay, so I can still do like the form of the beast, bite, claw, or tail to somebody.
Yeah. So you say before you attacked, you bonus actioned your rage, and now you're going for your attack. So you will have an attack and a bonus action for this.
Okay, let me get that great axe out of the way, and I cleaved him with a 6.
6 points. You hit him for 6? No, you hit him for 6 damage.
Yeah, 6 damage. Sorry. Yeah,
All right.
6 damage. Wait, rage gives me +2, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He is dead.
Oh,
You
he's
just
dead.
burst out of the shrubbery with your form. You go into a rage, and this coarse, sort of bear-like hair starts protruding through your Leonin skin. The rest of you kind of see this form change that you hadn't seen before, as this Leonin kind of has almost bear-like features now adorning into his chest, into his hair, into his natural abilities. And he goes, just reaches out, grabs a kobold, tears it in two, it just scares them all. All the kobolds go, holy fuck, it's a what? And they just freak out as you just rush them. They think they're dealing with like a feral bear, lion-like monster. And as that happens, the rest of you is like, okay, I think this is a signal. And then you all leap out.
Okay.
So,
I'm gonna stay in the bush and just stick my hand out and do the poison spray.
Wait.
okay, so who has the highest dex out of all of you? I think it's probably Apollo.
Yeah. Score 19.
Score 19. Okay, and who's got? So what are your dex scores, Arlie and Amara?
16.
16, 15. So Apollo will be first, then Amara, then Arlie.
That doesn't
So-
count the plus whatever, right?
It's just the dex. This just determines who's faster without doing initiative. So Apollo, just make your attack first on the surprise round here.
So really quickly, I don't think I was done my attack yet, right? Because I didn't do my bonus action of using the bite.
Oh shit, that's right. Okay.
So I just want to sneak that in there really quickly. If I could just quickly I'll do the one that's right next to me as well there.
Okay. This one here.
I need to do bite, and I got 10.
10, unfortunately. Oh wait.
No worries.
10. Yeah, 10 to hit, misses unfortunately.
No worries.
As you go on and just you grab one of them, rip it apart, chuck it at them. This discarded kobold, lower half and top half, falls to the ground. You go in for a bite at the other one. Oh shit! They all just dodge out of the way and all just start to scatter amongst themselves. But yeah, my bad. I should have checked with you there.
No, it's okay. Sorry. It's fine.
No problem. But after that, they give you the signal to go. So, Apollo, what's your first move going to be?
I'm going to move around to kind of the corner here and go for a rapier attack on this guy.
This one here, okay.
Is that, I can add sneak attack because it's a surprise?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so 16 to hit.
16 will hit. Roll damage.
That will be a that is 17 to damage.
You leap out of the shrubs. You're like, it's go time. You just stab this dude as his human cultist friend just see a rapier blade go through the throat of him. Fall down, and there's just a Tabaxian cultist robes standing in front of them. And then you all quickly follow suit. So anything else you wanted to do?
No, I'm going to just stand there and go, you disappointed the dragon.
All right, Amara, what would you like to do?
I'm actually gonna just reach my hand out of the bush with my nails and just like stab the person in front of me.
Ding! Through that sort of metal mask they're wearing, get it right in their eyes, roll to hit.
13.
13 does hit. Roll damage. 3 points of damage as your long nails you kind of go in for the hit, but some of the nails kind of ping off against the metal helmet, the metal mask that they're wearing, but one kind of gets right inside and kind of scrapes the face of him inside. Oh, Jesus Christ! It just gets so spooked and surprised as this long hand comes out with these long dagger-like fingernails and stabs him right in the face. Anything else you wanted to do?
That is it.
That's it. Okay, Arlie.
Okay, so I would like to maybe move about here, and I want to. I would take a shot with my longbow at the middle group, like the nearest one in the middle group. And if I do that, I can then use Hail of Thorns on those guys.
So sorry, which one are you shooting? This guy here?
Sorry. No, the one just to the right of him.
This one. Okay.
Other way. The group in the middle, the dragon people.
The kobolds?
Yes. The nearest one to me of that group.
This one here?
Yep.
Okay, so you're gonna use your longbow to shoot at him?
Yep.
Okay, so that's an action to attack, so hit him with the longbow.
For damage first by accident. Okay, so hits 14.
14 definitely hits. Roll damage.
Damage, I got 10.
10. As this bolt just lunges through the bush and shrubbery, when they're all scrambling around them, you just take a kobold out as this thick arrow just hits him square in the eye socket and makes him backflip onto his belly in the midair. And just sniped him, so good job there.
Okay. Can I then use Hail of Thorns?
Is that a spell, bonus action?
It is a... Let me look. It is under spells?
So you can only do one action per turn, so casting a spell is an action, attacking with a weapon is an action. So unfortunately...
I thought I had to attack with the longbow in order to use it.
Okay.
Or would I have had to cast it first?
So let me just bring this up really quick. Arlie. Spells. Hail of Thorns. The next time you hit a creature with a ranged attack before the spell ends. So yeah, you would have to cast the spell first. So the next time, so when you cast the spell, the next time you hit a creature with a ranged weapon attack, the spell creates a rain of thorns that sprout from your ranged weapon or ammunition. So you need to cast Hail of Thorns first. Then the next time when you hit something with your ranged attack, then it'll work that way.
Okay, cool.
So it's up to you if you wanted to take that back, but you did knock out a kobold with your bow, so you still did a good thing.
Yeah. I'll just call that my turn for now.
Okay, no problem. With that, as you see this giant Leonin in this primal beast form rip a kobold in half, take a big chomp at another as his jaw and his teeth have grown like double in size since you last saw him. The kobolds all here go, leave, flee, and they all just freak out and run away. And they just flail, fuck those humans, they're on their own! And they just book it to the shrubs around you as Arctreon just scared the ever-living shit out of them, basically. But after that, it will be rolling for advantage, everybody, after your surprise round.
What? What do we do?
Rolling for initiative.
Oh,
you said advantage.
What is it?
20.
So you just look at the initiative on the D&D Beyond sheet and just click that sucker.
I got a
14.
10.
9.
Okay, so we'll go down the list of 20 to 15.
20.
20 for Ali. Okay, 15 to 10.
Aiden.
10.
Got 14.
Arctreon 14. Amara 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then Apollo
9.
9. Okay, so Arlie, you are going to go first as this party descends on these kobolds and these cultists. Take one out, one kobold out with that huge arrow shot. What would you like to do?
So how many times can I use that spell?
So spells are determined by the slots you have. So cantrips, you can use as many as you like. For your first levels, you have 3 spell slots. So you can cast 3 spells before you need to take a rest. Some spells will replenish after a short rest, but spell slots usually recover after a long rest.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and use Hail of Thorns then.
Okay, so
Try it.
you cast Hail of Thorns. So you can mark off one of those spell slots there. So yeah, so the next time you hit a creature with a ranged weapon before the spell ends, the spell will create a rain of thorns that sprout from your ranged weapon or ammunition. In addition to the normal effect of the attack, the target of the attack and each creature within 5 feet of it must make a dexterity saving throw. The creature takes 1d10 piercing damage on a failed save or half as much on a successful one. So you've got that ready for your next ranged attack as this sort of antler-like crown starts to apparate around you in this ethereal kind of invisible-like form starts to hover around you, almost like heat vapor waves start to come around your head like a crown of antlers and thorns, ready for your next action. Do you have any bonus actions or any movement you'd like to do?
Bonus actions. Don't think so.
Okay. So he's got that prepped ready for the next ranged attack. Okay. After you, it's going to be one of the cultists. So seeing this, they're just like freaking out as one of the cultists got stabbed behind the neck with a rapier. This dude is going to try to run for the weapons. He's got 30 feet. Makes his way over to the weapons behind, sort of kneeling against that rock. Oh God! Oh God! Ah! Just runs over and takes the sword out and just starts standing ready. The other one here is also going to do that as well. Oh, he can't even get to his weapon. He can only run that far. Oh, no, he can get, no. Let's see. Oh, he's gonna get there. And this guy here, he's also gonna make a run for it, but Amara, you'll get an attack of opportunity as this cultist tries to run with his brothers over to the pile of weapons that they left behind. So roll for an attack. So you can roll with a melee weapon, but not a spell.
Okay. I will roll with my scimitar.
Okay.
14.
14 hits. Roll damage. As you got right next to them, popped out of those bushes, trying to make a swipe before he leaves.
I got a 4.
A 4. Still good damage. Oh, actually, my bad. That third one actually doesn't go yet. He stays there.
Oh.
So that was my bad. Third one was lower on initiative. So after that, we come to Arctreon. As you jump out of those bushes and saw those kobolds just fuck this shit and just leave into the shrubs around you. What do you want to do?
I can obviously move and attack, right?
You could move and attack are separate.
Yep. Okay. I'm gonna go right here. And
All right.
I am gonna do a great axe, and then most likely gonna be doing the bite as well. So I swing with the great axe, and I miss. I got an 8.
Oh no! Really?
Yeah.
Get his ankles.
Can I still use form of the beast to use my bite, or does that not count?
Here, I'm just gonna bring that up. So all of you are now at level 3, by the way. I don't think we mentioned that at the start of the of today's session. So all the travelers, after fighting with Langdarosa Signwrath last session, they all leveled up to level 3. So they're all trying out new abilities and subclasses. So let me just look at all of the things that you can do. So these attacks in your new beast form, it is an action to do so. So unless you have 2 attacks, which I don't think you do yet, or do you? No, I don't.
Oh. But I thought I could. I thought I had. I have 2 weapon fighting.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So you can 2 weapon fighting. Yes. So you can. Yeah, that was my bad. You can use that, but you just don't add the modifier after the damage.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll do.
Because they and then this Path of the Beast form that Arctreon chose, when he goes into a rage, his form of the beast allows him an extra addition of certain melee attacks in the form of like biting or a claws or a tail that kind of erupt out of his Leonin form. With 2 weapon fighting, you can make an additional melee-based attack. You just don't have the modifier for the damage roll. But you hit with the bite.
Yeah, I got 12. I don't think I did.
12 just hits. Roll damage.
Okay.
So just the D8.
5.
5 points of damage to that fool. Okay. So as these cultists kind of ran off for their weapons, Arctreon just leaps over to you, and his form is now very different. Like the fur that he had is much thicker and coarser. There's like sort of tiger-like stripes that are kind of in with his fur as well. His claws are bigger. His maw is more intense and more sharp. Like his form is kind of mutated into this kind of strange amalgamation of various beasts. But he shows up behind you, just this huge bite on this cultist's shoulder. Oh my God! He's just freaking out as the other 2 were able to move forward. But anything else you'd like to do, Arctreon?
I don't think I can do anything more.
Okay.
No, I think that's literally it. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. After Arctreon, we come to Apollo. Or no, sorry, Amara.
Yes. Okay. I'm just gonna be like, damn, Arctreon, that was kind of hot. And then I'm gonna be like, I can kind of do that too. I mean, okay, so this time, instead of my fingernails, I'm gonna like sharpen my teeth. And I'm just gonna like try to take a chunk out of him.
So you're gonna bite him as well?
Yeah. 10?
And to hit, misses.
Yeah. No!
So you just look at him like, that was kind of hot. I want to do that. Ah! You go to bite, but you just hit a chunk of his armor on his form. He's like, king! Ah!
I thought I could do it! I did!
Any movement or bonus actions?
No.
No. Okay. After that, we come to Apollo.
I'm going to. Okay, so only the one farthest from me has weapons, right?
Yeah, I'll mark him here. So this guy currently has his weapons.
Okay, so I'm going to pop my feline agility, and I'm going to dart around behind him, and I'm gonna stab him with a rapier. Just straight up lunge.
Okay.
12 to hit.
12 to hit. It does hit. Roll damage.
That would be 9 damage.
9 damage. As soon as these cultists kind of run from you, Apollo, you're so quick. This is like a horror movie for these cultists, by the way. They were just like doing their thing, mind their business, then monsters come out of nowhere and just viciously rip these dudes apart. As that one cultist got rapiered right in the throat, blood poured everywhere. Oh my God! Ah! They all just running for it. That one cultist who finally was able to reach his sword goes, I got it! You're already right behind him. As that fellow cultist was running up right behind him, just sees his friend get murdered. How are you doing this? You're a goddamn ghost!
You disappointed the dragon, and I'm gonna use my remainder. So that one's dead.
Yeah, he's gone.
I'm gonna use the remainder of my movement to just close up the distance.
Okay, so standing between this guy and his weapons. Good turn, Apollo. After you, we come to this poor son of a bitch. Not sure what to do. He's just gonna fight for survival. He's just gonna make a run for his weapons. So as he moves, Amara and Arctreon will both get opportunity attacks as he tries to run out of your vicinity. So you get to make one melee-based attack against him.
13.
What are you hitting him with?
A scimitar.
The scimitar. Yep, that'll hit. You can roll damage.
A 6.
6 points of damage. Okay.
My great axe still technically is a melee weapon.
Yeah.
And a swing and a miss. 6.
We gotta get you some goddamn real dice there, buddy.
I'm serious. The last 2 times I've been playing have been terrible.
You're overdue. You're overdue for a magnificent, triumphant moment. But it's kind of one of those things where you've taken a big chunk out of this dude's shoulder already, correct? When you bit him already.
Yeah,
so he went down and huge chunks at his shoulder. Ah! You kind of felt down, and then you like go up to raise your axe to kind of finish the job, and as Amara kind of trying to bite him as well, like, that's my teeth, you jerk! You just gut him right inside with your scimitar. Then you just kind of cut him from navel to breastplate. Give him a gut zipper as Arctreon's about to go up with his axe, and you just see this guts just start to fall out, and you just look at Omara just with like kind of a scared face as falls
I'm just
down.
gonna wink at him like.
Also taken out.
Look at me like that.
That was for you.
In that moment, Ark realized what true fear was.
Yeah. I feel no man, but that I feel.
So after that, we come to the top of the round with Arlie. Having freshly cast your Hail of Thorns, you are free and clear to snipe out this last cultist here.
Yeah, this might be a little overkill. I probably didn't need that spell, but let's take a shot.
Overkill is amazing.
All right. So do I just use my longbow then?
Yeah, so you'll shoot him with the longbow.
I rolled a nat 20 to hit.
Oh my god. Crit hit. Okay.
I got.
So this will be
9
double the
points.
damage at the end of it. So roll to hit with your longbow, you crit. Roll the damage.
I got 9 for damage.
So was that doubling it?
That is total, yeah. Or right?
Not
So what-
double.
Right. So whatever there was. So you roll damage. It was just 9 straight. You're
yeah,
like you rolled the
so-
die and it was 9. So you would double that to
Okay.
18 for the crit. So 18 damage with just the arrow alone. The hail of thorns will do an extra d6. No, extra d.
1d10.
1d10. So he is dead, but we'll still do this because this is fun.
Obliterate. He just turns into dust. Just
To the Shadow Realm.
yeah.
Dex save. Actually, Apollo, I need you to make a dex saving throw because you're within 5 feet of the target.
Oh no.
19.
19,
Okay.
you're good.
Most dexterous person here. We're good.
Sorry, Apollo.
I'll just make him make a dex saving throw just for fun. Yeah, he failed. So out of nowhere, after you kind of murder that dude behind him, as this one cultist now looks behind him, as Amara just gave this guy a navel zipper. Guts are starting to fall out. This one cultist, please, I'll tell you whatever you need. I'll tell you whatever you want. Please, just don't. This huge bolt just takes out this guy from ear to ear, and just like the side ragman cartwheel as he rolls up and smashes into this dirt road over here. It smacks up against a tree, and as his head is just jettisoned into the trunk of the tree, blood is starting to spurt down from his forehead as this sort of weird vapor-like wave of a thorn crown is sitting on top of his head, cinched into the top of his head, and blood marks are just coming down his face like tears of red.
I like her. She's good.
Damn, Arlie, that's kind of hot too.
Did you try to hit me?
I'm so sorry, Apollo. I didn't mean to. And then I turn and wink at Amara.
And I thought I was the messy one.
But it is with that we are out of combat. You have cleared out this area quite expertly. So all that is left, you kind of look around. Those kobolds are gone. They just bolted.
Hopefully they don't go back to the camp. They ran pretty immediately. I think
Yeah,
the
they
only
don't
one
know
they
what
would
happened.
recognize. The only one they would recognize is probably you, Ark, and that's just because you terrified them. Good job, by the way. It was good. And
Yeah.
also,
The card.
yeah, we're fine. It's fine. I can see the cart from here, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's fine. It's fine. You see the horses over there? He's just eating. What do we name him? Bill, Billy, whatever. his name
Eggnog.
is.
Billy Eggnog.
Billy
Billy-
Eggnog.
Billy the Eggnog is just fine over there. And he has no clue what just happened. You know, total. That took like that was quicker than I thought. That was like what, 30 seconds, and they were all dead. We're really good at killing. We could do with a little bit less mess, especially on like a road. But sure, that's fine. I think we need to, but we should get going as well, just in case. Just to try and beat those kobolds there on that.
I
wagon.
agree. Let's go.
Let's boogie.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
clean-
actually take the time to like drag the bodies into
Yeah.
the
just move the bodies out of
Yeah.
sight, real quick.
We're gonna eat one of them.
Oh my
Wait.
god.
I'm gonna take that. The dude who I already have a piece of his shoulder in my mouth. I'm like, that tastes good. I gotta rip off the shoulder that he was doing, and I just clean off the metal and the fabric. And as I just start taking chunks, because I'm still raging. The rage didn't.
Yeah,
stop.
for all of you, this is the first time we've seen Arctreon in this very primal, beastie kind of form, and it's a little bit unsettling, almost like when Amara kind of goes into her modes. But this is all pure visual and physical. You just see him for the first time. It's just like, just like ripping tendons and meat off of the bones of these dead cultists.
Concerning, but I'm gonna ignore it for now. Let's give him some
slowly
space.
backing away.
Let's give him some space and
I
clean
heard
the road.
My kill.
Okay.
You notice
Amar's
that
just gonna
his limbs
stare
are
and be like, "What the fuck?"
his limbs are a bit longer than they were before. His tail is longer than it was before. His body has gone through this very noticeable kind of transformation.
Man, you even weirded out Amara. That is impressive.
I've seen many horrors of the night, and this is new to me.
It kind of looks. It reminds me of you, to be honest, Amara. And that concerns me a little bit more than it. He's looking at me weird now. I'm gonna and I'm just gonna start clearing the bodies off the immediate road.
Search the bodies? Yeah, sure. So you kind of clear the bodies off. Were you searching them as well?
I mean, I'm not spending any extra time here. So just
I
like
wanna search.
the quick like check the pockets real quick, toss them in the corner.
Me search too.
You want to search too? I'll have you
Yes.
both make investigation. Or Arlie, you want to search too?
Yeah.
Yeah,
wanna
you can all
search
make-
the
all
one
make-
that I just murdered.
Yeah, sure. You can all make investigation checks if you like.
Yeah,
14.
You want to do
3.
two? Sure.
Yeah, throw it in.
3,
15.
14, 15,
18.
18. See? Told you were overdue. Apollo, you're kind of busy kind of just dragging the bodies off the beaten path from any discovery as the rest of you kind of look over what's left behind. Arlie and Amara, as you check the cultist bodies, they didn't leave much behind. Their weapons that they left over were pretty shoddily made. They look kind of cheap and not very good. They did have among them around 28 silver pieces altogether. So you can chop that down, who's ever taking care of the monies. But Arctreon, as you're kind of like munching on that arm, you kind of walk over to where the cultists all bolted. You notice that one of them a couple of them just like dropped whatever food they were eating or whatever items they had and just bolted. And you notice that one of the sacks they left over actually contains quite a few things, probably left over from all the rampant looting that all these people were doing for whatever means they had. You notice that in the sack contains pewter candlesticks, some sterling silver dishes, and a few religious carvings of Chantia that was probably taken from that church.
Let's just throw it all in the wagon, I
I was
guess.
gonna say, I just take the bag and I throw it at Apollo because he's clearly writing this stuff down and I'm not. And
We each get 7 gold pieces.
Okay.
sure.
Also, is there leftover food that I can just take?
Oh, for sure. They were in that sort of makeshift camp that they were setting up. You can see a little spitfire of some roasted hen that the cultists were making.
Man.
I'm gonna take all of it.
And take all of it. Okay. No worries there. So it takes Apollo a little bit of time to kind of drag the bodies off the road, but you kind of make sure there's no leftover kind of dried blood on the side of the road or any kind of any evidence that there was a scrap here. Kind of go through the dirt road and kind of wave things around so it doesn't look so apparent. But you feel pretty good that you've done a good job at leaving no footprints behind in this spot.
Okay. And then we just hop back on the wagon and continue a little bit, maybe a little bit faster than usual.
Hop on the wagon and continue. Okay. Same formation as before.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So survival checks, Amara and Arlie, or does one of you want to do an advantage?
Would you mind if I had an advantage?
Go for it.
Okay. Would I have to do that now?
The advantage?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you roll at advantage for your survival check.
$17.
17. Okay. So you're able to still very expertly keep on track of the tracks you were tracking. Oh wow, that was a lot of tracking of the tracks that you track. Able to expertly follow the tracks that you were chasing after before. And as you notice, the terrain now is fully getting more into that more rocky, more mountainous environment as you're kind of leaving further and further from the greeny, grassy hillsides of Green Nest into this new area. You kind of go forward another few miles before you start to come to this path that kind of starts to narrow down a bit, and you see these kind of rocky walls kind of beside you. It's kind of like almost mountainous cliffside. They're on either side of you as you're kind of starting to make your way down this narrow pathway here. And if you look on roll 20, I will reveal this new map to you.
That sounds sketchy.
So you just kind of scroll a bit down and over to the left.
Interesting.
Cool. Now, are those things that are kind of bleeding onto the road, are those like jagged rocks that are protruding at a certain height, or?
Yeah, so the sort of pathway before you is kind of like sort of narrowly kind of going up. At the end of the path, there's kind of this rocky sort of mountainous, tall, naturalistic sort of formation that kind of goes up a few feet, around like 15 feet up. 20 feet up. And then kind of reaches up a tall sort of swath that kind of goes off from sort of rocks and dry grass and mountainous sort of terrain. This sort of place in front of you here is around 5 feet tall from some sort of bigger boulders that are kind of coming down, have kind of fallen from the top part and have kind of fallen into the pathway here. But yeah, that's what you kind of see before you here.
All right.
What would you all like to do?
Can I look out just for... this seems like an ambush point to me.
Yeah, I want
Like-
to roll for perception.
Just kind of, I want to look out there and see if I can spot anything.
Maybe I could ask Martin if he would fly up and take a look. Because he could let us know if he saw something.
Martin the pseudo dragon.
Oh, I didn't know he was with us.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Been hiding this whole time.
Just like on top of Arlie.
He hangs out in my saddlebag.
So you all kind of are starting to approach this this sort of long stretch of road that kind of narrows down and goes long, and you're kind of looking at these sort of heightened mountainous walls around you, and the first thing Apollo thinks of like, fuck, kill box, we gotta be careful. You kind of talk among yourself like, I mean, we could scout ahead, what should we do? And the rest of you are kind of figuring out what to do, and then Arlie kind of just reaches down into her side satchel, and you just hear the and she just starts to pull out this pseudo dragon as it's just kind of wriggling around, as all of you remember that does not belong to her, and it looks like she has stolen it from the keep.
Pocket dragon.
Yeah.
Pocket sand, pocket dragon.
So the pseudo dragon has a flying speed of 60 feet, but with the pseudo dragon, you kind of pull it out of your satchel. How do you communicate to this animal?
If I remember correctly, you can sort of, well, okay, so I do speak Draconic, but also you can communicate like basic ideas to them telepathically, and they can do the same back, right? So like...
Yeah. Basic ideas, like walk, run, come here, go there. So it's kind of a tricky thing to be able to get them to do complicated things.
Could I ask him if, and maybe see if he would understand if I like speak in Draconic, and I'm just like, do you see any scary things? I don't know. Maybe that's too complicated.
Fly up, look people.
Yeah.
I'd be scared for it to be shot down, but that's just me.
Let's see. I'm just looking at your things here. So, what feature are you using to communicate with? Are you just talking to it in Draconic first?
Yeah, I'll try that.
Okay, so as you kind of got Martin in your hands as this slender sort of pseudo dragon is just kind of. What do you say to it in Draconic?
First I want to just like be petting him and just kind of being like reassuring, but just like motion up and be like, Scout? Do you see danger? I don't know. Fly? I think this is too complicated for him.
Make an animal handling check.
Okay.
Can I assist with that, please?
In Draconic.
Yeah.
I got a 13.
Got a 13. So this being not your pet necessarily, still kind of developing a relationship with this animal, as Everly, the priest of the Chantia shrine, the church, it was his pet to begin with, and kind of put it in your care to kind of take care of it for a while. And now it's kind of looking around like it doesn't really know where it is at the moment. It seems a little bit frightened. But you have it out. You're like saying things to it. Then you say, fly. And it kind of goes, starts to float from your hands and just starts to, it's just kind of floating there, flying in front of you.
Okay, so in Draconic, I just ask him, or even just kind of motion and just like be like, do you see anything? Like motioning like this. Okay. Thank you anyway. And I pet him and put him on my shoulder.
You can kind of surmise that, like with the animal handling check, you can surmise that it understands what you're saying. It can't speak back to you. But with, again, that sort of thing, it's very young also. It's like a little wormling pseudo dragon. So it's trying to understand you, but you understood fly. You said fly, and then when you said like, can you see anything? It literally went, just started looking around it like, I see things.
Okay.
Apollos, can't you climb up there, maybe?
Well, if we're going to, I feel as though if I start climbing up as a cultist, we'd be better off just going in there and playing it off if we run into something. It's a solid road and there's plenty of hiding spots.
Sorry, Apollo and Arctreon, you wanted to try to make a perception check to see if you could see anything that might ambush you first, correct?
Yeah.
All right, so roll perception checks to both of you.
Wow, I am blind as a bat with a crisp 2.
Oh.
16.
16. Unfortunately, you all looking over this terrain, there's a lot of rocks that are kind of jettisoned up and over. There's a lot of places that people could be hiding if there were, but you're just not able to everything looks clear and easy to you from this point.
I say we continue on and be prepared for trouble, but if it shows up, just let me try and talk first. And if we can get past it, good. We have now loot in the back of this wagon. We have a horse. We have a little marten. And I'm dressed as a cultist. You just have to act more brazen, more rough around the edges. And then I believe we can play it off and hopefully get past. Because obviously we passed a group. And they did not seem prepared at all. So I believe if we play it off that we are cultists, we can pass by if we run into anyone with like no issue. Right? Because I don't have a better idea, and I don't know how close we are to the camp, and I'm not sure I want to cause a lot of trouble. We've already, now they have 12 missing persons that were already coming back. So if we continue to kill everything we come across without trying for negotiation or even playing it off that we are part of this group, then, if they set up a back line, we kill everyone in that back line, they're going to wonder where that back line went, right? That's my thought here. So I say we just continue and hope we get through. If everything goes south, we kill. But that's the last thing we should be doing. We should try and play it off first.
Would the horse be able to perceive, better hearing or instincts or something?
To the horse or something like that.
I mean, if you can, it depends. Again, if some of you have speak with animals, so you could use that to talk with animals and see if they're like, hey, by the way, if you hear anything, let us know. So you can definitely try that. You can attempt.
How are we getting over this thing over
You
here?
can just go around it.
Yeah.
You just can't go
Okay.
through it.
Yeah.
I say let's just go.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Just going forward. Same, the same sort of alignment you had earlier with Amara with the horse, Arlie in the front, Apollo dressed as a cultist sitting on the wagon with Arctreon in the back.
Yes.
I'm kind of next to the horse. I think Amara and I both are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So say you kind of go around this spot here. We'll put Amara and Arlie. Ooh. I can't. There. Do it there. Do it there. So like that. And we'll just say you're there.
Avery, you've been awfully quiet.
Avery is not here. Okay. Arctreon will just kind of put you on the side there. So going forward like that.
Sure.
Okay. So as you make your way through this passageway, just this eerie silence is going over you as you're just kind of looking up ahead very carefully. A few birds overhead fly by.
Mhm.
Then all of a sudden, you hear above you a few pebbles start to fall from the mountain wall on either side of you. Then all of a sudden, two giant bunch of boulders start to fall in your direction. I need you all to make dexterity saving throws as a bunch of falling boulders and rocks start to just jettison from the top of this mountainous wall and start to fall down on top of you.
Got a 10.
How do we roll that? Or just click dexterity?
So you should have saving throws on your sheet, Arlie.
Oops, wrong one.
At the sort of the top left, underneath your stats, top left, there's a section that says saving throw modifiers,
Gotcha.
and you have those ones there.
I clicked the wrong thing. I got a 14.
I got 13.
Oh, I also clicked the wrong thing.
Yeah, so it's a saving throw, not just a dex. It's a very different thing.
Wow, good. It was even worse.
17.
Wait.
3.
17.
12.
Okay. So the DC was 11. So those who got more than 11 succeed. Those who failed under 11 are going to take 2d12 bludgeoning damage from these rocks.
Are you still raging, Arc?
Yeah, so I technically take half damage from it.
How long does the rage go for?
10 rounds, 1 minute.
It would have been past a minute since you left that place, because you left from that passing area over here. Would have a couple hours would have gone by since then.
Oh, okay. Well, cool.
So this is, you're gonna take a full this damage. Those that failed, those who succeed, you take half damage. So not that bad. 6 points of bludgeoning for failed, and then 3 if you succeeded. As these boulders and rocks start tumbling around, you go, whoa, whoa! Trying to move out of the way, so you dive out of the way. Arctreon, you kind of get ahead of your friends, like, get out of the way! You take the brunt of the boulders, kind of hold one up and save when your friends push it over. Then all of a sudden, on top of these walls, a crew of cultists emerge from their cover, pointing arrows and different bows at you and say, "Nobody move! Stay where you are!" And it's there that we're going to take our break. We're going to take our first break so we can kind of fill the drinks and stretch the legs for a little minute. But yeah, guys, we'll be back in like 5-10 minutes here and see how this goes. So don't go anywhere. Ah. Hello, everybody. We're back from our break and a possible ambush by the cultists. Okay, let's see how this is about to go down. As when we last left off, our party still very much hot pursuit behind this massive group of raiders and dragon cultists that took out Green Nest. They found some sort of stragglers left far behind. Some human cultists and kobolds are squabbling amongst each other, making a makeshift campground. You took those suckers out without ease. Moving forward, the terrain around you becoming more mountainous and rocky and leaving behind the rolling grassy hills of Green Nest. Coming to this kind of narrow passageway with high mountainous walls on either side. Made your way forward, and boulders and rocks started to fall down onto you as various cultists popped up, arrows cocked back. "What are you doing here? State your business!" As they see one of you dressed in black cobalt robes with a shining cobalt mask, tabaxi black furred tail whipping around. What do you say to them, Cole?
I'm gonna shout. Was that in common?
Yes.
I'm gonna shout back, "You idiots! You could have damaged our goods here!" And I'm like gonna, as Flavor reach into like the bag we grabbed and pull out like some sterling silver, be like, "We have loot, and we took a moment to eat, and you're going to attack us? We come in here. I'm literally one of you. I went through the same goddamn training. My friend died." And I was like, and I'm just gonna like shove the sterling silver back in the thing and be like, "What do you want? You want to take it from me? Here, I lift up the bag, take the damn loot and go. Because you know what? This is a lot of goddamn trouble, all right? This is a lot of trouble. I'm just trying to bring this shit back, and you're attacking me with this." And I'm gonna look over and like, is the horse fine?
The horse is fine.
Be like, "You're lucky you didn't take out our only ride." What?
They're all looking at each other as they look down at this tabaxi dressed as a lead Dragonclaw cultist, with adventurers kind of leading the cart kind of with you. But like we described earlier, a lot of these raiders and bandits looked like sort of ragtag group of raiders and adventurers and bandits and things. So it's kind of hard to discern you from the others. But as they put down, as they have their weapons cocked, "We were told to be on the lookout for particular," and starts naming Leonin, Centaur, and the weird one who likes to gut people.
"Well, this isn't them. Can you see? And I look at Arlie and I'm like pointing at the pack on her side with Martin, and I'm like, Martin, we have captured one of the sacred. I don't know. Apollo would know. What is this called? Just is it actually called a pseudo dragon? Yeah. We've captured a pseudo dragon, and we have evidence that it came from a place with dragon eggs.
Make a persuasion roll.
Wait, can I help him and just be like, we are just bringing the goods to wherever Apollo said.
Roll a disadvantage.
Oh.
Is it at disadvantage?
I'm just kidding. Just straight roll.
I just want to say, just curious. 23 both times.
Let's go.
What's up?
So they all have their bows cocked back as they're. I roll for these guys. So most of them kind of have their bows cocked back, and you see the loot kind of in your hand, the pseudo dragon in the other. Where you headed?
We're just going back to camp. We just ate a fine meal, and now, well, the damn kobold's getting in the way. God damn. But, and I'm going to say in Draconic, I'm going to kind of slip into Draconic, just, we are gathering more for the horde of Tiamat. And I'm going to, like, and then just, like, reference, like, hold up the sack.
Keep talking about
you see it. You see a few of them start to put down their bows. They see you in the garb. They see you with the loot, the pseudo dragon now. Got a lot of evidence to go with you here. Now they were told, from reaching back, that there were a various group of adventurers that were messing around with the cultist plans, obviously. But much like in life, you can't just say, hey, there was an Asian person, a white person, and someone else, and they were, effing with us. Races in D&D, I like to think, are much not every Leonin is going to be the Leonin they're looking for. Much like, I saw a white guy do it. The first one that comes up, hey, it's that white guy. You know what I mean? So they're very cautious because you fit the description of them they're told to look out for. And you just kind of rushing in, not saying your presence, not saying who you were ahead of time. They just went for it, but you're saying, hey, what the fuck? And they'll start lowering down their bows, but one doesn't seem convinced. This guy here, who there are a couple cultists up there, and there are a few acolytes up there as well, all wearing various sort of weird dragon masks. But this one dude kind of starts to make his way towards you. And he's not in like the official dragon cult robes that he was before. It looks more like an official sort of lead guard of some kind. He's got kind of a spear in one hand, not wearing a mask or anything, but very like muscular and protruding. It looks like maybe he's leading this pack, this guard, this rear guard group of cultists. And he starts to make his way down to you. Going back to camp, eh?
General Langdorosa himself told us he killed the Leonin. Why are we still looking for him? In Draconic.
He killed him?
He wasn't moving, and there was a spear in his chest.
Make a persuasion roll.
Can I do it or help him with the advantage and say
what
that?
Do you say and be careful?
Yes. This time I'm going to say we have been told that we were looking for a high elf. And as you can see, there is no high elf with us.
That is true. Make a persuasion roll at advantage.
14?
No.
That's +7 too.
No.
Oh. Well, that flew off my table.
I think that's a sign. That the
Disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
As I'm like, he came down, right?
This
Okay.
guy came down. This
Forward to talk to him.
Are
like-
you thinking what I'm thinking?
I'm stepping forward to talk to him like I'm the same. Yeah, we're on the same page here.
So he rolled a 19 on insight.
Shit.
As you're kind of going down, and you make that argument, it's like, look, we were told to look for high elf as well. You see them fucking here? Like, Jesus, trying to make the argument of like, you're holding us up. Like, this is stupid. What are you guys doing? And then the guard just kind of looks up at the rest of the rear guard, and they all look at him and like they're all kind of nodding like she's right. Like, we were told to look for a high elf as well. They're not here. And then the lead guard looks over at your pseudo dragon, Arlie. Tell you what, why don't you leave that little dragon friend here with me for a while? I'll take it back to camp after we're done with rear guard duties.
What does he look like?
This
Like-
guy?
Yeah.
It's like a very like athletic human that's kind of got, again, sort of black adornments, but not in those robe-like designs that you saw earlier. Much more like a guard official, kind of has the one material that's kind of put over to one side of his breast with buttons down the side, black slacks, black high boots, black gloves, has a spear in one hand, nothing to cover his face, kind of a high collar that comes up here, a sword on his hilt, and he's just eyeing you all. And then he says that over to Arlie, as Arlie can see like the little dragon wing and the tail kind of spurting out of the side bag. And yeah.
What does he can I surmise what level he is? Like, is he a wing or a soul or above, like, ranking wise?
He looks like just to be a guard. Doesn't look like to be in any of those sort of higher rankings.
And no tattoos or anything?
No tattoos, but sorry, Arctreon?
Can I just make a suggestion? Am I allowed to, like, can I make a suggestion to Cole? Am I allowed to do that or no?
That's okay.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Mhm.
Okay, you do have 100 gold on you.
I have 50 gold on me.
50 gold on you. Why you have 50
I gave away 50 gold.
He gave 50 gold away to the owner of the bookshop who was crying about his dilapidated bookstore.
Okay, that's still 50 gold.
I kind of have a plan.
Why don't you suggest, like, hey, listen, how about I give you 50 gold and we'll tell them that you found it. Take all the credit for finding the pseudo dragon. And when we get back to camp.
The cat. I can't.
I know, he's
I kind of want to
Right.
try to persuade him.
I have an idea, and it could either go really well or really poorly.
Well,
I was gonna say,
that
yeah.
was Aiden's idea. Jess, what was your idea?
I was thinking I would just tell him that, like, I had direct orders to watch over this specifically. And I was told only I was allowed to carry, just basically I was given very direct orders. I'm not allowed to let anybody else take it because who knows, maybe you would take it and sell it and they're very valuable and we can't have that. So
Okay,
No,
that's Jess's idea. Amara, what would you say?
Me to Cole. Worst comes to worst, can't you just grab him and like threaten to like
I
kill
closed the distance so I could kill him.
Yeah.
but,
Yeah.
but that's last
thing. Yeah.
I have an
do it.
idea. It could
Okay.
go very well. It could go very poorly, like most of my ideas. But I think if it went well, it would be funny. So, and it
Okay.
kind of it partially swings in with what Arlie was saying in terms of convincing that like we're. But I have an idea. I think persuade. We're not in a good position here. Persuasion is probably the best
Mhm.
attempt to be made. So he doesn't have any tattoos or like distinct markings on him. He's just a regular human dude.
Just looks like a lead sort of grunt soldier.
I'm gonna like kind of puff out my chest a little bit and kind of make it exaggerate that I'm like looking him up and down and go like, you know, General Langderosa, and I'm speaking out so all of them can hear. General Langderosa did warn me that there was that there was an imposter among the guard, or he suspected there was an imposter among the guard. He did say it was a human, and I don't quite trust you. You have so far thrown rocks at me and my group. You've impeded our journey. You've impeded Langderosa's mission. And not only that, but you tried to steal the prized package that Langderosa ordered we bring back ourselves. Now, I don't know, and I'm kind of looking out to all of them, and I'm like, I don't know how long this traitor has been among you, but to not notice for so long. And I'm gonna point at him and like pull out my rapier and like hold it to him, and I'm be like, you betray Tiamat. And I'm gonna like, be like, and I'm gonna just try and stab him with it through the neck with the. Before he can say anything, I'm gonna silence him with just through the neck.
Slice.
This is
Okay.
convincing, and also like this is what a cultist would probably do. I don't know.
Roll to hit.
I'm gonna quiet him before he can say anything back.
Well, yeah, because the rest of them were convinced.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the rest of them seem convinced. 23 to hit.
23 hits.
Is that sneak attack? Because actually, no, it is. Because I'm the only because of my swashbuckler.
Mhm.
That is. Oh my god. Oh, go away. That is 19 damage.
19 damage.
Yeah.
Good night, sweet prince.
You bolster forward as he looks like he was trying to. Maybe he wasn't sure himself. Maybe he thought it seemed a bit sus. But you give a convincing argument. Then in seeing that pseudo dragon, he's like, I'm going to get something out of this stupid deal. Give me that pet. And then you just kind of hop off the wagon. Listen here! And you just give this impassioned speech right in his face that these cultists are like, you kind of go in his face and they start to raise up their bows a little bit as they're like not sure what's going on. Langderosa told me there might be an imposter around these ranks, and I think I've just found one. Like through the bottom of the chin, out the mouth, like your sword comes through his cheekbone, literally skewering him from jaw up to the middle of his face. You can see his tongue like just flicking out from his mouth, and it's like touching your blade in the middle of his mouth.
I'm gonna just twist it.
Oh my god.
Take it out.
I'm wiping off the blade and looking at all of them.
Dead.
Now are the rest of you part of his group? Are you traitors as well? And I'm gonna nod to like Arlie and Amara as like threatening. He's threatening. Like
I'm gonna raise my hands like,
Yeah.
are you?
I pull out my longbow and knock an arrow.
Are you one of them?
Make an intimidation check at advantage.
What to say? Can I roll for his, or can I give him the advantage though?
14.
He's already rolling it at advantage anyway, just for doing such a creative spin on all of that. 14. They just seem dumbfounded, and they just look at you as you're like ready to go. Did Langderosa tell you about the true tale? He didn't tell me about it.
We don't have time for this. And I'm gonna nod to the rest of them to get back on the cart, and I'm gonna be like, clean this traitorous scum up. What? Get back in your hiding spots. You wasted the damn rocks. He will hear about this. And I'm gonna kind of act like everything's normal. I'm gonna get back on the cart with everyone else and just go forward.
As you and your friends start to make your way forward, the cultists at the top just make their way down, and they're just kind of confused and scared and not sure what to happen. You just see them start to drag the body off the floor beside you as you have successfully gotten through these cultists.
Smack on the butt. GG, man. Good game.
Apollo's just gonna have a moment.
So,
Go have a smoke, have a drink, my friend.
as you kind of wait about, several minutes pass, as you kind of put quite a bit of distance between you and the rest of the cultists, and you kind of look back a few times as they're kind of dragging this dead body up. They're kind of talking with each other, and they go back into their guarding positions. Apollo, you're kind of on the front of the car, and you go, oh my god. As you continue to go forward, you can have a bit of time here to kind of talk with each other after that event.
Good thing I didn't open my mouth.
Yeah, this is why I'm the one in the robes. I don't want to be the wrong one in the robes. It's fine.
Well, now we know that they're there, so when we come back, maybe we could,
You kill them? We can, when we come back,
Kill them, you say?
we'll hopefully have prisoners. We free the prisoners, and we don't want any harm to come to them. I say we do try and get past the moment we get our objective. We turn around and we leave, and we get out of there. I do not feel like facing Langderosa again, especially
there
after
should be
using
another way
this.
around.
Yes, I will take the long way. That is fine. I do not want to test my luck any more than I have today. And I'm gonna kind of have a moment in the front seat, just.
So after you kind of gather your resolve a little bit after that very, very close encounter, you're going to take a moment, and then you keep going down this trail of tracks that you've been following. So once again, Arlie and Amara, if you want to make survival checks to continue on this path with the tracks, or one of you at advantage.
15.
13. So as you are still making your way down, you go ahead about another hour or two again. A couple miles pass you by as you notice now the rocky terrain is starting to become more very prevalent. There's very little grassy areas kind of left behind anymore. And as you kind of make your way through this swath of rocky plateaus, you come to an opening. You start to approach sort of in the hollow of a rocky plateau that's kind of shaped roughly like a horseshoe. Various voices start to pop up as you're getting sort of coming over this sort of uphill. And as you're getting closer and closer up, muffled voices and sort of sounds of movement, sounds of something busy happening over this horizon. As you kind of make your way up with your horse Billy / Eggnog up the hill, this opening starts to come up towards you. And you kind of start to approach the entrance of a massive encampment. As you start to come closer to this area, you start to see dozens of these sort of circular tents start to pop up, filled into this rocky horseshoe-like plateau. The lower portion of the plateau sort of rises gently from the surrounding land, but it quickly steepens and ascends to the height of 150 feet above the landscape. Boulders form jumbled heaps at the base of the cliffs. The level shelves and top of the plateau are kind of covered in long grass and brush, and scrubby trees kind of grow in patches along the sides. But you see these sort of circular huts that are kind of made from closely spaced wooden and bone poles covered in hide, mud, and sod, various sort of arrangements and size. You start to see a guard tower that protrudes up from this sort of encampment. And as you kind of make your way towards this entrance, if you look over to the map directly to your right, you will see reveal.
Holy. Okay.
The dragon cultist encampment. And just kind of getting closer here, because obviously you're not going right for the entrance, but as you're kind of getting over this sort of hilly plateau, it gives you a bit of an elevated view over this huge landmass in front of you. Arctreon, you have that telescope on you.
Yes.
So I'm gonna have you make a perception roll at advantage.
Beautiful.
As Apollo kind of mentions, like kind of slows down the card, like, guys, I think this might be it.
It was a nat 20, but I have a -1, so it's 19.
Still, as Apollo kind of makes the alert to you, you take out your telescope and you can roughly estimate that the numbers in this camp, you probably count roughly 100 kobolds and a mix of bandits, guards, and cultists, totaling about 80 or so. There's a lot of people.
So I just
in this
utter that to
camp.
everybody. I just let everybody know that there's hundreds of kobolds and then these dragon cult leaders, and let's just say we're heavily outnumbered. We're walking into I can't say minefield because there's no such thing as minefield, but we're walking into basically a death trap. So I have an idea to hide myself. They were told they were looking for a Leonin. I am a very specific looking creature. I have a bedroll and some clothing that I'm going to hop into the back of this carriage and cover myself with the bedroll and the costumes and clothing, and I'm going to cover myself with it.
Okay.
Wait, was Arctreon able to see where prisoners were being held?
Oh, I should. Yeah, sorry. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so as he's kind of surveying the land, looking through these various tents, you see some guard towers over here, various encampments of cultists, kobolds, different beasts of the like. You notice, Arctreon, you got a crit on that search. You see one tent that looks very different from the others, very fine made, a lot larger than the others, and you see a few guards that have that similar attire to the guard that you came face to face with in that sort of rocky trail. For them, standing very about face, with a couple of lizard-like creatures that they have on leashes that they're just holding in place. So it looks like maybe a place of some sort of importance. But as you're kind of surveying the area and scanning, you see a group of cultists over here, and 8 or so villagers that look very similar to those of Green Nest, all in chains, bound together. Looks like they're carrying various boulders and sort of various terrain pieces with them, as this lead cult is just yanking them forward as they're some of them are falling, some of them are hitting their legs. And also, I will say, since it was a crit, way over here in the distance,
I was just about to ask about that too.
You see a fairly short person chained up to a pole with pointy ears, tan-like skin, wavy kind of protruding hair off to the side, wearing those various robes and monk-like traditions that you had been described to earlier from Nissim, which kind of fills out the details of Leosin.
So as I'm peering through, and I'm like, there's a tent. It's heavily guarded. A little bit more cleaner than everybody else's. I don't think we want to go into that one. But I can see our prisoners off to the east or south. Or south.
And also, because you got a crit, I'm going to give this to you as well. The very end of this area, right here, you notice a deep, dark cave entrance and various cultists going in and out of it. And some of those villagers, a couple others are straggled behind as they're carrying rocks and different debris and wheelbarrows and just going in and out of that space there.
Are they carrying any gold at all by any chance? Can I look for anything that has
no gold. It looks like just debris, like they're moving various things or creating maybe clear passageways inside, but it's kind of hard to tell.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna obviously let my group know that we found. I can see that. I'm so sorry. I'm so bad with names. I really should be writing this stuff down.
No, it's okay. Leosin is his name.
Leosin. Yes, I can see Leosin from here as well. But I can see where the prisoners are being held as well. So.
Question, because I assume Arctreon would be telling us every single thing. Is the guy chained up like the monk that?
Yeah.
And are people watching him, or is he alone?
Him currently, he's kind of chained up in the middle of this encampment area. To a stake. There's just people kind of everywhere along this campsite. It's very heavily populated, as this is still middle of the day. There's a lot of goings on, people doing various tasks. There's kind of people's kind of scattered everywhere. There's no one like guarding him. They seem pretty, he's chained up to a stake in the middle of the encampment. There's no one precisely guarding him, but there are just kind of people walking around in that area.
I'm just going to let the party know. I would like to send him a message, just to let him and only him know that we are here, so he will be ready for us if we are able to save him.
Can you send messages to people you've never met?
Yeah, so I could do that with an animal to send the message for me. It says... I tell the recipient who matches the general description, and I could speak the message up to 25 words.
Okay.
And it delivers, like the creature that I send replicates my voice. So it'll understand. Yeah.
So as you're kind of sort of approaching the entrance to this massive rocky plateau encampment, Arctreon's kind of saying to you where these people are with his telescope. Like, there's people over here, there's prisoners there. That monk, I think that's him over there. You just kind of called, like, what kind of animal do you want to send this message? Like a little, like tiny little robin, a bird?
Yes, like a blue jay.
A blue jay? Okay.
Yeah. And I'll consult the group, like what specific message I should send him.
The team sent a rescue party, and we have his choker, which is apparently important to him. And to be ready for a quick run.
Okay.
Can he say
right,
anything back to the bird and relay a message back? Or no?
I would have to read that.
Yeah, no, he can't send a message back. You can just send a message to them.
Right. Just thought I'd check.
Yeah. So yeah, only I would be able to talk to him and he can't say anything back. So I'm going to just say that newcomers are in the camp and to be aware of someone, a Leonin, a tabaxi with a centaur, and a druid possibly in an animal form coming to save him and to just come. We have his stuff.
Okay, so I'll have you make a nature check to see if you can make kind of like a blue jay call to see if you can attract any birds to you.
Oh no, I got a 2.
Plus anything?
Oh no. Oh no.
You could have Arlie as well assist you, or she could make
Yes.
one as well. A nature check, try to attract a blue jay.
This is, probably a no. But would the birds in my swarm be able to help, or are they not like real?
Let's see. The swarm, as far as I know, because this is also your new subclass, Swarm Keeper Ranger. As far as I know, it's mostly combat based.
Could I do like a perception check to see if there are animals near me instead?
Here, let me just see the swarm. Yeah, I believe the swarm is got a swarm on you.
I thought it just hung out regardless of battle.
Bonded itself to you and can assist in battle.
No.
So it seems to be very much like a battle scenario.
Wait, technically, can't they all roll to find an animal?
I mean, yeah, you could all try to make your best blue jay call and come and try to attract some to you. But Arlie, I'll look more into that to see what the swarm can kind of like the functions of it and everything are.
Okay.
As the nature roll?
Yeah, just a straight up nature check. Same with you, Arlie. You can make one too.
Ooh. Not me. Not me.
12.
15.
Ooh, Arlie wins.
Yeah, so as you're all trying to like, Amari, trying to make your best blue jay sound, but just like not exactly able to get it out. The rest of you are like, I think I know one. Just not able to make the perfect sound of the bird, but Arlie just very expertly and without fail makes the perfect blue jay call as one just starts to just flutter over to her finger and just comes right to her and puts it down in front of you, Amara, for the send message.
Okay, so I'll just whisper the message to the...
So it's 25 words, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so this has to be within 25 words of your message, so you got to be specific.
Leonin, Druid, Centaur. What am I missing? Tabaxi. Here. Save you. With my voice, you'll know. Get ready. Is there anything else that's important for him to know?
Yeah,
Tell him
5
you
left.
love him.
I love you.
There we
Forever. Soon.
I gotta
convince
love it?
any
What's
dude.
going on?
So as you're saying all this to this blue jay, as these words kind of wisp into its mind, this kind of faint green sort of dust kind of falls into the air and starts to go around the blue jay, and you just see this kind of floating, glitterly kind of green cloud just emanate across its head. As you finish it, go. Just flies off into the distance towards the camp. And if you are looking with your telescope, Arctreon, kind of focus in on Leosin, as you see this bird kind of make its way past the trees, and you see him there, like very gaunt and a bit like skinny, just kind of hanging there. You see this bird kind of land on his shoulder, and you see the bird kind of hop over and then start whispering something in his ear, and he goes, just looks kind of confused and maybe a bit scared, but he's just like, he just kind of nods, and the bird just
Feel the love
Well,
tonight.
I think he got your message.
Lovely.
He looks happy and somehow still scared.
I told him I love him forever.
Soon.
Soon. I will love you forever soon.
Oh my goodness.
I think he's very happy because they put that in there.
But with that, as the Blue Jay kind of leaves his shoulder, he's a bit confused, but he kind of has a bit of a breath and resolve as he just kind of is looking around him, not sure like where these people will come from or how they will approach. But as you're standing on this hill crest with the 5 of you looking forward, this massive dragon cultist camp ahead of you. This, my friends, is where we're going to end the stream tonight because we're getting close to that time limit.
Oh no!
Unfortunately. So we will pick this up next Saturday. Same bat time, same bat channel as we enter into the dragon cultist side, campsite side of things, as you guys will figure out how you want to try to sneak into this camp, free these prisoners, get Leosin out of there, and see what information you can gather from this place. But yeah, thank you guys all so much for watching. As always, really do appreciate it. Hope you had a good time, and hopefully next week we'll have a full party here ready to go. So thank you guys so much. Really do appreciate it. Again, check me out on Dicecream Twitch channel this coming Monday for the start of Arc 3 for my homebrew campaign Beyond the Realms, which I'm super stoked about to get started. But thank you all these awesome players who join me here every Saturday. I hope you guys had a good time. But yeah, until then, stay safe, everyone. See you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Kevin.